Good evening and welcome to the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty, and we have open region play tonight. We're opening up region play. Both teams undefeated, Saraland 1-0 and LeFlore 1-0. But for one of them, could this be a trap game? Corey, how you doing this evening?
Doing great, Al. Excited about another week of high school football, especially with it being region play. This game is going to go and define volumes come week 8 or 9, because if you lose early, you may look back. You're not able to change that. So tonight we jump right into region play.
Absolutely. It's a great night here at Lad People Stadium. We're glad to have you with us on the sidelines. We have Pablo Foster covering the action down there. And this week right now, LeFlore's coming in on pretty good terms. They won last week, defeated Williamson right here at Ladd. A lot of penalties in that game, but Coach Schamberger says his kids got something to look forward to tonight.
Yeah, they're looking to clean up the play. If they're able to do that, it's going to be an exciting football game. This Saraland team has a lot of prospects, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens and how the game is going to be determined through penalties and through other keys, and we'll check out my checklist later on.
Absolutely. We have Corey's checklist. Also, we'll be looking at your impact players as well. As I said, it's a great night here at Lad People Stadium. Corey, not as humid as it was last week. Got a little breeze going, but apparently we got to open up the windows up here. Not as cool in the studio.
No doubt about it. I mean, I know they're sweating down on the field. We're sweating up here, but that's what August and September is all about. High school football, getting excited.
Absolutely. We're going to take a look at your Corey's checklist for tonight. We have that coming your way right here for the MCPSS Thursday night game of the week. For LeFlore, talk about that, Corey. What do they need to do?
LeFlore definitely has to play with poise. They can't have all those penalties. They need to make sure they take care of that. They have to clean up the passing progress as well. Last week they only completed 1 out of 10 passes, so it's going to be essential that Sean Phelan gets on track, is able to complete a lot of passes tonight, and they need to get ahead of the chains on first down. You cannot have 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, or 2nd and 15 for the LeFlore Rattlers. That's going to be very important for the Rattlers.
Right, let's move over to Saraland. They're undefeated as well. What are some of the things they need to do tonight?
They have to limit LeFlore's explosive plays, and what I mean by explosive plays, 15 yards or more are considered explosive plays by the Saraland coaching staff. Also, they have to have improved tackling. They can't just hit the LeFlore Rattler. They have to make sure they bring them to the ground. Improved tackling is going to be very important. And the Spartan strength. Will they be able to go ahead and finish up this game without cramping, blow LeFlore off the line of scrimmage? Here we go, Al, getting ready for some high school football here at Ladd Stadium.
Absolutely. LeFlore will be receiving the kickoff here as we get action started at Ladd People Stadium. Back for the Rattlers, we have Desmond Gully and Rodney Finley, and handling the kickoff is Justin Harper for Saraland. And there we are. Action is in play. Ball taken about the 18-yard line. He's coming up to the middle and wrapped up by a gang of Spartan tacklers right there.
Dwan James does a great job. He's Mr. All-Everything for the LeFlore Rattlers. We'll see his workload increase. Coach Schamberger said at media days that he would like to see Dwan James get the ball anywhere from 16 to 20 times. The Spartans know it's imperative. If they want to keep LeFlore with the goose egg on the board, it's going to start with stopping him and their ability to run the football.
They've got to do that, Corey. You're right about that. So we get a chance to look at the Rattler offense once again. We saw them last week. And we'll talk about some of their stats as the game starts off. Quarterback Sean Phelan, he'll be taking the snaps. Dwan James in the backfield with him, and we'll highlight some of those other players with the LeFlore starting lineup momentarily. First snap for the Rattlers. Phelan decides to keep it. And he is brought down. Let's take a look at the impact players for tonight. Corey, you've kind of highlighted who should we be on the lookout for each of these teams, so we'll get those up and let you elaborate further about those.
Great impact player right there. Sean Phelan, the quarterback for the LeFlore Rattlers, is explosive with his feet. He's going to have to get LeFlore on track offensively. And also, Jonathan Buskey, a two-way player for the LeFlore Rattlers, both offensively and defensively, will be a factor tonight.
He's a big guy, man. Big guy. Buskey, 6'6", 305, actually the basketball player. So he's doing his thing for the Rattlers football team. Trips to the bottom of the screen. There's the pass. Little screen pass set up to James. Up the middle, gaining yardage. Close to a first down marker. LeFlore coming out, opening up here on Saraland. Let's look at Saraland's impact players, Corey, and see what we can expect for them tonight.
Again, Saraland's impact player is going to start with their offensive line. Big Matthew Treherne, he's a 3-year starter for the Saraland Spartans. He's the left tackle, going to be taking care of Jack West, the quarterback. And Wydell Flott, we saw him make the first tackle of the game. He's an impact player, a hard-hitting cornerback slash safety, all everything for Saraland as well.
Keep your eyes on him. 2nd and 1 for the Rattlers, trying to pick up the first down of the evening. There's a handoff to James. He keeps it up the middle. He's got room. He's on to going to the outside to the 30, 35, 20. One guy to beat, brings him down. That's number 7 for Saraland, Randall Hinton. Big run for Dwan James. He was pretty much all the offense for LeFlore last week, Corey.
And again, we talked about it earlier. If you want to get off for LeFlore, you're going to have to give the ball to Dwan James. I know the Saraland Spartan defensive staff are not going to be happy. That's one of those explosive plays that the Spartans wanted to limit. LeFlore comes out and is able to get on the plus side of the field, but I do believe I see a penalty on the on the play.
There are a couple flags on the field, and it looks like it's coming back. While we have a break, let's take a look at the starting lineup.
Back, on the offense, it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Lock in the back. That always get the coach upset there. Let's take a look at the Rattlers starting lineup for tonight, Corey.
And again, you're talking about Sean Phelan really getting it done, the quarterback for LeFlore. Dwan James, we've seen him on kick returns. We've also seen him running the ball. But again, they're going to run behind big left tackle Jonathan Buskey if they're going to have some success.
And that offensive line for LeFlore is huge, averaging 295 pounds across that front line. So the Rattlers pick up the first down, but they lose all that extra yardage. Ball marked about the 45-yard line of the Spartans. Hand off to the up back, and he is wrapped up immediately, brought back for a loss.
Damian McMillan, the big fullback, the up back. Great call right there, trying to get ahead of the sticks on first down after that unfortunate penalty that cost them some maybe 15 or 20 yards earlier.
Let's have a look at the Spartan defense. You talked about flat right there. Defensive back number 6, Randall Hinton, bringing down James to prevent that touchdown. There's some of the other players we have for the Spartans this evening.
Again, Saraland's based out of that 3-4 defense, and Josiah Mills, the nose tackle, is going to be the one who really tries to put pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, I know LeFlore, the O-line, wants to put the weight on the Spartan defense there. Little quick out. Picks up a few yards, gets some of it back. Still be third down and maybe 5 or 6 for the Rattlers. They got some momentum going. We didn't see this last week, Corey. It was almost like a penalty fest in the first quarter, man.
That's right. Completing passes is so essential. Again, last week, Sean Phelan was only 1 out of 10 throwing for the LeFlore Rattlers. His one completion was for 3 yards. Thus far, he's able to hit his mark, and sometimes that gives a quarterback confidence early.
Absolutely. They call it 3rd and 6. The line to make looks to be about the 34-yard line for the Rattlers. There's Phelan rolling out. He's got a guy open. He connects with him close to the marker, and a solid hit by number 6 for Saraland. There he is, Waddell Flat. You talked about him earlier.
Yeah, he's such a heavy hitter. He's being recruited by Troy, South Alabama, Louisiana Lafayette, Arkansas State, and Appalachian State. You can see why he has those offers. He just comes up and lays the lumber on the LeFlore Rattlers.
Here's a look at the hit right here. But it's enough to pick up the first down, so the Rattlers are moving the sticks here. Offensive coordinator for LeFlore, Mr. Epps, looks like he's got a good game plan so far.
And again, this is his second year being the offensive coordinator, and that's very important. Once he gets his quarterback a lot of confidence, it's going to be important for the Rattlers to continue to move the chains early.
Hand off up the middle, gain a few yards, sets up second down for the Rattlers.
Tackle down on the play by number 34, Matthew Harper.
Beautiful night down here at Ladd Stadium for football. Not as humid as it was last week, Corey. I'll talk to Coach Sandberg about that on the sidelines. A little breeze in the air, so apparently it's looking good. Right now, temperature coming in about 85 degrees.
Yeah, that's not too bad. You have to factor in the humidity, but again, we talked a week ago about hydration. That's very, very important.
We will have those heat timeouts, so first dead ball under 6 minutes, we'll get one of those. Phelan decides to keep it himself, gets a couple of yards. Had a guy to pitch it out to, but he declined and decided to keep it, and he's wrapped up, sets up third down. The LeFlore offense looking pretty good compared to what we had last week as they were up against Williamson.
Yeah, Nathaniel Thomas comes up and makes a great stop for the Saraland Spartans. And again, 3rd and 5, that's a very manageable down for the Rattlers. They've had some success getting Phelan outside of the pocket, rolling him out. And again, the small completions give them confidence early. And again, right now, LeFlore is controlling the clock, which is something that they were not able to do a week ago.
Absolutely. 3rd and 5 is the call. The line to make is going to be the 25-yard line of the Spartans. Rattlers trying to get into the red zone, need this first down first. There's James on the move. He's got the first down and more deep into Spartan territory. He is inside the red zone. The Rattlers are on the move, and the crowd is behind him, Corey.
Andrew Booth on the stop for the Spartans. But again, you see who they're looking to get involved in with the offense. It's going to be DeJuan James, whether it's him running.
Right.
Now they're finding ways to get him screens up the middle. You're finding your best football player on the football field for the Rattlers right now, getting the football early and often.
1st and 10 on the 16-yard line. LeFlore keeping it tight and packed. That's probably going to lead to James getting the handoff, and there it is up the middle. He's gaining yards on the way to the end zone. Touchdown, LeFlore on the board at 6:44. The Rattlers behind DeJuan James putting up big yards, and they have scored first on Saraland.
And again, this is an offense that has gotten a lot of confidence early, but you look who they've gone to. It's been DeJuan James. It's been the DeJuan James show last week as he had almost 90 yards rushing. This week, they've gone right back to him, and that's what Coach Schamberger said he wanted to do, get his best players to football. DeJuan James is the best football player on the field, and right now it looks like LeFlore is not going to kick the extra point. They're going to go for 2.
Yeah, going for 2. See who they're going to hand it off to. Up to the up back. Looks like McMillan. He's wrapped up. He's pushing a line, and he is in. 2-point conversion. Rattlers up 8-0 over Saraland. I like the way we're starting off, Corey.
And if you're a LeFlore Rattler, you have to feel great about yourself, because 1 week ago, you weren't able to sustain those type of offensive drives. And tonight, so far, the offensive line looks fresh. They're able to blow the Saraland Spartans off of the ball, give DeJuan James an opportunity to find those creases. And the biggest difference to me is the confidence that Sean Phelan is playing with. He completed a couple of passes early in the drive, gave it to DeJuan James, both receiving and rushing, and that led to an extra point. LeFlore didn't feel confident about kicking extra points a week ago because DeJuan James is the kicker as well. That's huge for the Rattlers.
Let's take a look at the Spartans starting offense for tonight as they get ready to receive the ball. Quick action here. There he is, Jack West. Everyone talking about him. This kid is very polished, very experienced. He got 2 years under his belt. Also, you can call it running back got by committee for Saraland. They lost Sean Long last year. Dominio Williams had 97 yards against Baker last week. And, of course, you got to replace Bayless Jones. So a couple receivers down there, Alex Sweat, Miles Smith, and Jackson Sykes, who West will be trying to get the ball out to.
And it's going to be important for the LeFlore Rattlers to now get confidence on defense. We've seen what they've been able to do offensively and have a lot of success. Now in this kickoff, they're going to have to make sure they wrap up and get the Spartans on the ground.
Ball kicked off to the up back, but we do have a flag on the play. Let's get a look down on the field. Maybe offside, possibly false start on the offense there. So we'll wait for the call from our head referee.
Offside. The kicking team.
And it's one of those situations to where you don't want the yellow flag to come out in a situation that you could control. You have to have eye control right there. You know when the ball is going to be kicked off of the tee. So right there, it cost you 5 yards. We'll see where the Saraland Spartans are going to take over offensively here as this kickoff pushes the Rattlers 5 yards back.
Take a look at our officials for tonight. Sean Kelly, John Stidham, Kenny Howell, Anthony Garrett, Michael Miles, Carl McDowell, and Chase Childers. Hopefully we'll be doing hearing good things from them tonight. Last week the officials were heavily involved in the game, Corey.
Yeah,
with the penalty.
It turned out to be a long night, but I think tonight we'll have a better flow of the game.
I think we will. Kickoff taken by Saraland right about the 10-yard line and brought up to about the 20. Take a look at the Rattlers defense here. Try to contain Jack West. There we are. Desmond Gully, he was a big guy last week. Tremonte Graham. The Rattlers had 3 interceptions last week, and one of them had 2, as a matter of fact.
Randy Wiggins plays a huge role for the LeFlore Rattlers. He cramped up late in that game, but we called his name a lot, so he's somebody that you can really look for. And Desmond Gully, again, 2 interceptions in the secondary last week. That's very impressive.
6:31, Saraland starts off about the 28-yard line. West handing the ball off. We talked about the fact Saraland may be running back by committee after trying to replace Mr. Sean Long. I talked with Jeff Kelly before the game, and he said, yeah, you'll see all 3 of them tonight. Last week, the running backs all had pretty good numbers, as a matter of fact, with rushing. Jonathan Pierman put up 87 yards. Dominio Williams put up 70. And Travaris Robinson put up 49. So we'll probably be calling all 3 of their names tonight.
And again, the LeFlore Rattlers have really given Saraland something different to look at. Defensive coordinator Greg Quinney was once the head coach at LeFlore High School, now sharing defensive coordinator positions with Schamberger, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can get a stop here.
That's correct. Up the middle, Saraland's on the move. Dominio Williams, we talked about him earlier. He gets the first down and more, almost to the midfield mark. And that's correct, Corey, with Coach Schamberger moving him over to defense to give more attention to it, him and Coach Quinney. And he told me before the game, defense has to play strong tonight for the Rattlers.
Devontae Williams on the stop for the Rattlers, the 5'11", 205-pound senior. Saraland wants to play at great tempo, but that tempo is going to be stopped right here by the first heat timeout of the first quarter.
We are under 6 minutes, 5:42 here at Lab People Stadium as we take a timeout. Don't move. LeFlore up 8-0 over Saraland. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff, brought to you by WKRG.
At Tenderbones Catering, our mission is to create an unforgettable event by exceeding your catering expectations. From large banquets to intimate affairs, we offer catering services for up to 1,000 guests. If you're planning a corporate event, party, meeting, or wedding, Tenderbones Catering will make it memorable from start to finish. Innovative cuisine, excellent service, and affordable pricing makes us Mobile's best catering value.
Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff, brought to you by WKRG. Al Wheaton, Corey LeBounty in the booth. I can't even say my name, Corey. Down on the sidelines, we have our guy Pablo Foster covering the action. Before the game, I asked Coach Schamberger, tell me about your week 1 to week 2 improvements. He said the kids had better focus, they're motivated, and they had a great week. And that was a great drive by the Rattlers there to get on the board early, Corey.
It's very important for that confidence standpoint to let them know that, hey, we're here to compete in 6A Region 1.
Williams with the handoff there, and he gets the first down plus more, way into Rattler territory, down to about the 32-yard line.
And there's a fumble on the play that is recovered by the Spartans. They did not signal them down. They're going to advance the football from where the ball was fumbled. And unfortunate for the Rattlers, they weren't able to jump on top of that because that was a huge first down run by Dominio Williams.
Huge break. Let's take it down to the sidelines. Our first check-in with Pablo Foster.
Hey, what's going on, Al? Corey, having a great time. And yeah, it's a little warm down here, but not too bad. We got a nice breeze coming across. And like I say, talked to Coach Schamberger before the game, and he said he wants the team to play aggressive football tonight, but play sound football. They've done that here, drove it in, put 8 points on the board. They also said they're going to defend play action. He said, we've got to defend the play action at Jack West. So far, haven't had to do that. Now they got to focus on stopping the run.
Right about that, Pablo. They got to shut down that running game of the Spartans. They are moving the ball down the field pretty aggressively right now.
And that's one of the things Saraland wants to do is play with great offensive tempo.
2nd and 5 for the Spartans, and we have some movement. Is it offsides or is it a legal procedure? We shall see.
I think it's going to be called against the Rattlers right there. A hard cadence was given by Jack West, but if the offensive lineman flinched on the hard count, then it's going to, of course, be against the Saraland Spartans.
Here's our call from our referee here.
Good ball. Encroachment on the defense.
He had to put the big vocabulary word on me. Encroachment, not offsides, Corey.
That's you know, anytime a defensive lineman comes across and makes contact with that offensive lineman, we are going to have encroachment, and that's going to cost the LeFlore Rattlers a quick 5. It's going to bring up a 1st and 10 opportunity for the Spartans.
Ball sitting on the 22-yard lines. The Spartans approaching the red zone, and they are on the move, looking to get into the end zone. 4:36 remaining in the first quarter. First quarter going by pretty rapidly this week. There's West with a handoff. Back gets a couple yards, maybe 4 or 5, set up 2nd down.
And Perryman, again, like you mentioned earlier, carried the rock 19 times last week for 87 yards and had 3 touchdowns. So we know they kind of have a big back. Danny Smith from Baker said they have a scat back and they have a big downhill runner. And the big downhill runner is going to be Jonathan Perryman.
Absolutely. 2nd and 6 is the call. Spartans officially inside the red zone, ball marked at about the 18-yard line, and they are looking to score. West taking a look at the line. He steps back. He's going to be passing over the middle and connects with the, and it is dropped. Almost had a one-handed catch from the Spartan receiver there.
Great job of defensive at the last moment. Damian McMillan playing both ways for the LeFlore Rattlers. It was an exposed situation where the offensive receiver had to go up and his rib cage was open. As we look at the replay right here, the throw was on the money by Jack West, but a great defensive back stop right there. McMillan on that huge impact hit.
Arian Belt, intended receiver, he had to step out of the game there. May have got the wind knocked out of him. 3rd and 6 for the Spartans. West looking to the sideline for the call here.
And
Under 10 on the play clock.
Al, as you said, it's important when you have to check with me to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Hand off to Perriman. He gets a few, and he is snuffed out by the Rattlers defense. Strong stand for the Rattlers right there, setting up 4th down. What's Coach Kelly going to do here?
Again, another big stop by Devontae Williams right there for the LeFlore Rattlers. And Coach Kelly, he's saying, all right, guys, in normal situations, you don't like to leave points on the field. So if you trust your field goal kicker, you're going to go ahead and march him on out. So he'll have an opportunity to kick the field goal, which it looks like right now is going to be close to 37-yard attempt.
Justin Harper lining it up, trying to get the Spartans on the board as we approach 3 minutes. Kick is up. And it is signaled as good, so the Spartans on the board. The Rattlers hold them to 3. That should be a good positive sign for the Rattlers. LeFlore up 8-3 over Saraland. Stay with us. More action headed your way. It's the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG-TV.
At Tenderbones Catering, our mission is to create an unforgettable event by exceeding your catering expectations. From large banquets to intimate affairs, we offer catering services for up to 1,000 guests. If you're planning a corporate event, party, meeting, or wedding, Tenderbones Catering will make it memorable from start to finish. Innovative cuisine, excellent service, and affordable pricing makes us Mobile's best catering value.
Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG-TV. The Spartans get on the board, only 3 points. I know Coach Caleb might be a little disappointed with that, how the drive finished up, Corey.
The good thing is he did not leave points on the field. You put points on the board, and 8-3, that's not really a football score, but at the same time, you don't have a donut on the board if you're the Saraland Spartans. 3 points are better than no points. You were able to knock down the 32-yard field goal because it was marked at the 15-yard line. So, again, it's going to be interesting to see how LeFlore responds right here after stopping and holding the Spartans on their first possession and scoring on the Rattlers' first possession.
As the kickoff escapes the receiver, is he going to let it go? He picks it up, and he is coming down, and he brought down quickly behind the 5-yard line for the Rattlers there.
And that's just a huge mental error right there, because as soon as the ball goes 10 yards, it is a live ball. Latravius Rankin right there wasn't sure what he wanted to do with it. Now he's pinned LeFlore deep in their own territory. The Rattlers, if they want to get on the board again, are going to have to march 95 yards to do so.
Oh, yeah. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Rattlers got a long way to go. I had a chance to speak with Coach Kelly before the game, and you hit it right on the head. He said they have to play smart on special teams, tackle in space, and most importantly, finish drives. He said they left a few points on the field last week against the Baker Hornets, so they only came away with 3 right there. They've got to get the points on the board. 1st and 10 for the Rattlers. Handoff to the up back. He gets maybe 1, possibly 2, as the Powell pushes him back toward the line of scrimmage.
And it's a great job of McMillan right there, not quitting. He continues to move his feet and wait until he heard that whistle. And we saw last week Damian McMillan get the ball a lot of times as an up back, and that's just an extra offensive weapon. You know, you keep him honest. Sometimes you fake to the up back. You're able to go ahead and roll out and get your halfback into open space, and that's something that LeFlore is probably setting up for later on.
We'll call it 2nd and 8, trips to the bottom of the screen as Phelan comes out of the huddle here. LeFlore definitely got some yardage to go if they want to get back on the board. Long drive anticipated. He decides to keep it and maybe gets 2 or 3.
And Phelan stopped on the play right there by linebacker Maddox Copeland. He's a 5'9", 179-pound sophomore. Does a great job right there of just keying on the quarterback, making sure that Phelan doesn't get beyond the line of scrimmage. And that brings up an even 3rd down and 5 for the LeFlore Rattlers.
3rd and 5, ball sitting squarely on the 10-yard line. And we saw the Rattlers, Phelan, and James move the ball very well at the start of the game there. So let's see what they come up with. Just need 5 yards here, Corey, to get the first down.
And it's almost like the Spartans were shell-shocked, and LeFlore made sure that they woke up real quick, because you look at the scoreboard and it's 8-3 Rattlers.
We may have a timeout on the field here. Stoppage in play. And it appears as if, I believe, Saraland has called timeout. 1:21 remaining in the first quarter, so maybe Coach Kelly, do you think it was personnel or he wants to set up something to stop this?
It's definitely personnel issue, because anytime you're at 3rd and 5 and you have them pinned deep into their own territory, you want to make sure that you're not giving up that free first down. Don't allow LeFlore to move those chains. That's something that we talked about earlier. Down in distance for the LeFlore Rattlers, if you're able to get ahead on first down, which LeFlore really wasn't able to do, they kind of made up possessions on second down. The Spartans, on the other hand, are looking at this situation. All right, we got them pinned deep, 3rd and 5. They've had some success with the tunnel screen earlier to Dewan James. Phelan faking to the up back, rolling outside. I would look for Phelan to get outside the pocket right here on 3rd down and 5.
I got you. Let's go down the sidelines. Check in once again with Pablo.
Hey, guys, you know, Coach Schamberger said before the game he wanted his team to play sound. We talked about that earlier. That's a perfect example. You saw Phelan come out. They're trapped way deep in their own territory. Going to keep the ball. Take the sound, smart, safe decision. Don't let a turnover happen by trying to go for the big play. Looks like Coach Schamberger's lessons are paying off.
Thank you, Pablo. We appreciate that. 3rd and 5, and we're back to action here on the field. Phelan in the backfield looking for the snap. Trips up top. And the Rattlers trying to do a little sneakage here, a little trickeration. And a little pass back to the up back, and you know what? That does not profit any yardage. That's a loss, Corey.
Yeah, the Saraland Spartans did a great job right there, staying at home, and they tried to fake it. A nice little reverse play by Phelan, but everybody stayed home for the Spartans. They didn't go for the trickeration. There was not a lot of green grass for the LeFlore Rattlers, and it's going to bring up a punting situation like we talked about. Dewan James also handles the kicking duties for the Rattlers, and it's going to set up the Spartans to have great field position after this punt.
Seemed like it took that play a little bit to develop. Took a little too much time.
And I tell you what, if Flott catches this ball on the run, he is a flat-out track star. He will take it to the house and put 6 on the board real quick.
Here's the punt from James, straight up, gets some slight yardage. Ball just at about the 22-yard line. Flott was set up on the 35. So not much yardage on that punt for the Rattlers. The Spartans set up in great field position right here to pounce on it and try to get back on the board with another score.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Al. It does set up the Spartans in great field position, their best field position of the first quarter, and they would like to end. You saw them end their last drive with a field goal. Again, LeFlore's defense with a quick turnaround, getting right back on the field again. Let's see what kind of last week they dialed up a nice little play action pass for Jack West. He runs those 4 wide receivers. You can look for Jack West to put the air on the ball right here.
And there they are, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. And West looks back to the sideline to get the call, steps back to receive the snap. Under 10 seconds on the play clock. He's walking up to the center now. Under 5 with less than 30 seconds left in the first quarter. There's the throw, trying to reach a receiver, incomplete. That does stop the clock for the Spartans, sets up 2nd and 10.
And Jack West took a nice little shot right there, unprotected as he was trying to throw that ball. That can wear and tear on the quarterback throughout the night. I know Matthew Treherne, one of the things that he talked about was being able to protect Jack and keep him off of the ground. But anytime you see Wydell Flott on the football field, you can look for Jack to probably try to hook up with him.
Yeah, Treherne's definitely got his back, 6'3", 311. Big guy. 2nd and 10 for the Spartans. That did stop the clock, as we said. They decide to hand it off to the back, and up the middle he's going close to the end zone, and that is a touchdown for the Spartans. Number 4, Dominio Williams takes it to the end zone. Spartans back on the board with a touchdown.
And just like that, the Spartans are able to put back-to-back scores. That's why Coach Kelly didn't want to leave points on the field earlier. You take the 3, you tack on the 6, and now you're right back and you're controlling this contest.
With 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Dominio Williams, as you see him right there, coming right into your living room, takes it to the house. Touchdown for the Saraland Spartans.
And that's a huge score for the Spartans. I mean, they're showing the Spartan strength right there, just blowing LeFlore off of the offensive line and creating that big hole for Williams to run through.
And the Spartans are going for 2 here, not going to go for the PAT.
And it's because of the odd score, 9-8 right here. If they're able to have success right here on the 2-point conversion, which they are, another play right up the gut for the Spartans, adding 2 more to the scoreboard.
Williams walks into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Score now 11-8 over the Rattlers.
And
Spartans up.
One of the reasons that you do that, now it's a field goal possession game instead of a 2-point game. You put LeFlore in a situation to where you know they don't have a great field goal kicker, so now the pressure goes back on the Rattlers, and that was the validation for going for 2 for the Spartans.
Let's take it back in time. LeFlore and Saraland have met. Where are my notes here, Corey? They've met twice, and Saraland has won both of those contests. The Spartans put up 41 points on the Rattlers in both of the games, and the most points LeFlore scored on Saraland has been 14.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation to where when Saraland made the move to 6A and LeFlore did as well with the reclassification a couple years ago, them only meeting twice, LeFlore's been handled both times. So there are guys on this Spartan roster who have seen blowouts by the Spartans and kind of took LeFlore for granted. That's something Coach Kelly preached about in the pregame. Don't take these guys for granted. He preached all week about making sure you respect your opponent. LeFlore came out and smacked him in the mouth early. Now Saraland has responded with back-to-back scores.
Well, one thing Coach Schamberger told me for LeFlore, I asked him, what do you need to do to win? And he said they need to stop the run, be sound on special teams, and have solid defense. So they've definitely got to keep working on some things. And the Rattler returner is wrapped up eventually and brought down behind about the 10-yard line, I believe, on that kickoff, Corey.
Yeah, that's Daniel Coleman on the return. He just kept getting pushed backwards. And, again, the LeFlore Rattlers are going to start off behind their own 20-yard line.
That wraps up first quarter action here at Lab People Stadium. Stick with us. The second quarter is headed your way. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG-TV. We welcome you back to the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty, and Pablo Foster on the sideline. Saraland up 11-8 over LeFlore. Here is second quarter action. LeFlore 1st and 10, ball on their own 19-yard line. And we get a run from LeFlore.
Dwan James again on the carry, and Andrew Booth, the outside linebacker, 5'10", 152-pound junior, got taken for a piggyback ride. He tried to wrap up and tried to hold him down until reinforcements were able to come there. But that's a good moving of the chain right there, or moving of the stick on first down if you're the LeFlore Rattlers. Brings up kind of a situation to where, you know,
holding on the
offense, penalty, that's
the
trouble.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, still first down.
And unfortunately, Corey, that penalty is going to negate that yardage James just picked up for the Rattlers there.
Yeah, I mean, it had positive yards on first down, and then you put it in reverse. That's not managing the sticks very well. You hurt your team right there and put yourself now in 1st and 15, and you're going backwards. That's what we saw last week against the Williamson Lions.
We did.
You want to go ahead and get into an offensive rhythm if you're the Rattlers without those penalties.
1st and 15, ball on 14-yard line. It's Phelan. He's looking for a little screen pass, gets it out to the back. He gets some yardage. He's on the move. He needs one more block to get open and get that first down, and he does get it. And he is bounced out of bounds by number 6 for the Spartans, Wydell Flott.
And Desmond Gully, the young man who had 2 interceptions at the defensive back right there, was able to catch the short pass. And that's how, again, we talked about the confidence that we saw in LeFlore's opening drive, the little dink and dunk passes. And the Rattlers are able to move the chains and get now in great field position, or better field position, instead of going in reverse.
That's a huge confidence booster for the offense. That last series they had didn't profit very well for them. So to get that first down was big for the Rattlers. 1st and 10, ball on the 30-yard line. Rattlers trying to get some momentum going here. Here's Phelan with the handoff, decides to keep it, tosses it out to James. He's met immediately by a Saraland defender. That's a loss.
And again, with the 3-4 defense that the Spartans are playing, they were doing a great job of pushing themselves up the field. And Phelan would have been better off if he would have faked the option right there and kept it himself. He set Dwan James up for a powerful hit right there for the Spartans. And now it puts you again right back behind the chains for the 2nd straight possession.
Makes it 2nd and 13. Ball placed at about the 27-yard line.
at their own 27-yard line.
Trips to the bottom of the screen here. The Rattlers appear to be in a pass situation. Here's a snap to Phelan. He rolls out. He's been rolling out tonight, getting some good connections there. And pass is complete to number 11, Zion Robinson.
And that's a great completion. And where they've had a lot of success is getting him outside of the pocket, rolling him out. And that wasn't a long route that he ran, but he put the pass on the money. We talked about 1 week ago, LeFlore was 1 out of 10 throwing the football. Now they've had a lot more success throwing the football right here in the first half.
And keeping those chains moving. 1st and 10, ball placed at the 42-yard line. So this looks like the first drive in the first quarter that the Rattlers had some momentum going on the Spartans defense. Phelan hands off to James. He's up the middle. He gets about 5 or 6. Those are positive plays.
They are positive plays, but they're positive plays on first down. You're trying to keep yourself in a manageable down and distance situation, and if LeFlore is able to do that like they were able on their first possession, they'll be able to kill some of the clock, and they'll be able to play at a tempo that they're comfortable with.
And that's a smart thing. I was just looking at, Corey. That first quarter flew by, and with LeFlore having an offense consistent like this, that will probably work to their favor tonight rather than having the defense out there so long. 2nd and 4 is the call.
And I like the fact that the LeFlore Rattlers have spread the Spartans out. That shows a little something different than 1 week ago.
It does. There's the handoff to James, tosses it out. He gets the first down and a bit more into Spartan territory across midfield. Ball looked like it's going to be marked about the 45-yard line.
And that's huge for the LeFlore Rattlers, the fact that they've had success throwing the football. Now you have to honor the pass, and it sets up a quick little option play, a flick out to DeJuan James, and he's able to get another first down. The Spartans really have to key on DeJuan James, but when they've been able to do that, now he's been able to get his other wide receivers involved, like Zion Robinson and also McMillan.
1st and 10 for the Rattlers on the Spartans' 45-yard line. Great night for football. We appreciate you joining us. It's the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. There's James again on the loose. He's got a lot of room. And he gets the first down and some more as the Rattlers continue to pound the ball on the Spartans defense.
And that's just a great decision right there by Phelan. We talked about earlier whether to pitch it or to keep it. In that situation, he decided at the last moment to pitch it, which allowed DeJuan James not only to move the sticks, but picks up another first down for the LeFlore Rattlers.
James ran for 96 yards last week against Williamson. He was pretty much all the offense that the Rattlers had. Those defensive turnovers really helped them out as well. We're under the 9-minute mark in the remainder of the half. There's a pass from Phelan out to the receiver. He's cutting back up the middle, and he's close to another first down marker.
And that's Rodney Finley Jr. That's his first completion tonight. That's his go-to wide receiver.
That's his man,
You
Corey.
talked about Sean Phelan. I asked him last week, who's your go-to guy? He said, it's going to be my main man, Rodney Finley Jr. And if they're able to hook up, you can see the confidence building. But the first drive, the LeFlore Rattlers had a lot of confidence. The second drive, not so much. They picked it and established that confidence once again in this drive.
Yeah, game moving swiftly. This is LeFlore's offense, only 3rd time touching the ball tonight. Under the 9-minute mark as we continue to move on with play. Phelan waiting for the snap. Looks like he's going to keep it up the middle, close to that first down marker. Let's see where they spot the ball here.
But when you look at the situation, it's a very manageable down and distance situation. 2nd and short will now bring up 3rd down and inches for the LeFlore Rattlers. The play call is much easier at 3rd and inches. We talked about the huge offensive line for the LeFlore Rattlers. Al, I mean, with the situation that LeFlore has right now at 3rd and inches, you can look for them just to try to continue to pound the ball in between the guard and the tackle.
And Coach Kelly calls a timeout to talk to his defense. I'm sure Coach Schamberger is going to try to take advantage of this and call a smart play. They're marking it 3rd and 1 on the big screen here at Ladd Peoples Stadium. I'm sorry, not the big screen, the scoreboard, but I'm with you, Corey. I think it's about 3rd and inches myself.
It is going to be 3rd and inches, and Andre Epps is the offensive coordinator for the LeFlore Rattlers. You mentioned him earlier. He's done a great job, and knowing in the offseason that their identity is going to be established in the run first, they've done a great job, but 1 week ago, their momentum and I guess the excitement of playing in your first game
could have been
just carried over to where they weren't able to complete a lot of passes. Now that Phelan has completed his first pass and his second pass and has gotten a lot of confidence going, and he's been able to establish the run as well, the confidence level for the LeFlore Rattlers right now is at a all-time high.
Absolutely. It's night and day. That was one of the reasons why I asked Coach Sandberger, talk about your week 1 to week 2 improvement, so you can see a fresh new attitude for the Rattlers as they come out on the field. And with him moving over to help coach out defense, that's a smart move. Rattlers gave up 302 points last year. Corey, that's averaging 30 points a game scoring defense. That's not a good look.
No, that's never a good look. And last week they were able to hold the Williamson Lions to 14, so that's half of what you gave up a year ago. That's an improvement. Here's 3rd and inches with LeFlore in the shotgun.
Phelan waiting for the snap. He decides to hand it off, and there's yardage plus more for Dwan James. He had a line to the end zone, but he was brought down. I believe number 8 on the defense, Larson Hall, for the Spartans.
But that's just a great shifty move inside the hole by Dwan James. He started one way, shifted another, put the PlayStation juke move on him, and was able to pick up a nice first down for the LeFlore Rattlers.
Yeah, he's a slasher type runner, but you get him in open field and he's going to take that thing to the house.
Now, what you have to see here for the LeFlore Rattlers, you've gotten it into the red zone area. You want to continue to go forward. You don't want any silly penalties right now. The playbook is wide open for the LeFlore Rattlers. They've been able to spread out the Spartans so far with this option attack as well.
1st and 10, ball on the 15-yard line. Phelan decides to keep it, and he is brought down by a few Spartan defenders.
That's going to be the nose guard, Nate Thomas, 5'10", 205-pound senior for the Spartans, staying at home right there. One thing you cannot afford to do if you're the LeFlore quarterback is to get in that hole and decide to do a little bit of dancing. You've got to go ahead and turn it up north and south. Can't afford to go east and west.
You've called his name a few times tonight so far, Corey. Thomas for Saraland.
And you're talking about now it's 2nd down and 11 for the LeFlore Rattlers. You want to go ahead, like I just mentioned, go forward and not backwards if you're the Rattlers.
This is huge. We know they don't have the strongest kicking game, so getting some points on the board in the end zone right now is very important. James keeps it, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He may be there. We'll see where they mark it at.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the LeFlore Rattlers' huge advantage on the offensive line, and they knew that this 3-4 defense by the Saraland Spartans was coming, but if you can get past that initial line of scrimmage and get a hat on a hat, it gives the LeFlore Rattlers an opportunity to get into open space.
Let's talk about it, Corey. 3rd and 10, ball back to the original line of scrimmage. Is this 4-down territory for LeFlore?
It is definitely 4-down territory because they don't really have a kicker that can put points on the board with any type of consistency.
There's a handoff to the back. I believe that was James again. And he runs into a wall of Saraland defenders.
Well, Coach Schamberger talked about Dwan James being the workhorse for the LeFlore Rattlers. He's also the kicker. It's something that LeFlore works on each and every day is special teams. And from this distance right here, with the ball being placed at probably around the 13-yard line, that's close to a 37-yard field goal attempt. The LeFlore Rattlers did not attempt a field goal last week, and it was hard for them to make an extra point. So in this situation, they're going to spread the field and try to convert on 4th down.
4th and 9 is the call. Ball at the 13-yard line. LeFlore doesn't have to score to keep the drive going. They just need 9 yards to get a first down. Phelan finds a man. He's open, and it looks like that's not going to be enough, but he did complete the pass to number 11, Zion Robinson, and he's going to come up short, I believe, so that'll be ball over on downs to the Spartans. So the Spartans hold. They shut that drive down.
Well, the good part for the LeFlore Rattlers is that you were able to push the ball deep into the red zone territory. The bad part was you spread the field out on 4th down and had a lot of success with the completion, but unfortunately it was on 4th down. So in this situation now, the Spartans are going to have to drive the length of the field. 4:57 remaining. LeFlore has dominated time of possession here in the first half.
They sure have. We're going to have our first heat timeout of the second quarter as we're under 6 minutes. Can't believe it. It's 4:57 left in the half. Let's take a look at some of the scores from last week right here. That was the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. LeFlore defeating Williamson. Davidson travels over to Daphne. They get the win, 35-28. Look at that one right there. MGM, they got some votes for the poll last week, 7-6 over UMS in 4A action, 7A and 4A action there.
Yeah, Coach Seymour said never bow down. That's a huge win for that program. They have the game of the week tomorrow night right here. And again, they're going to be playing at Theodore, but to knock off the #1 team in 4A, that's a monumental occasion, hopefully a building block for the Vikings.
Absolutely. We said earlier, Saraland over Baker 24-21. Theodore dominated Northridge 30-6. Chickasaw over Rain 41-0. And the Blunt Viger Battle of PA, we had that one last week. That's our game of the week. The Leopards take home the victory. Lev Howley is 7-0 in all of his Blunt Viger matchups as they beat Viger 29-20. West hands off to the up back. He gets a few yards, maybe 2 or 3 there. Sets up second down. There's Williams with the carry.
And that's a great stop by Devontae Williams, the 5'11", 205-pound senior. We've called his name a couple times tonight. And, again, right there, if you're the LeFlore Rattlers, you're content because the clock's still running. We know that the tempo is going to be fast and furious for the Spartans. But if you're not able to pick up the first down and move the chains, the clock's working against you.
Yeah, we had to check that. Rain won that game last week against Chickasaw, 41-0. Under 5 minutes here. West rolling back, and he is wrapped up and brought down. First sack of the evening. He takes a loss there.
Tamontre Graham, first time we've called his name tonight, 5'11", 235-pound junior, is able to get to Jack West and get his jersey dirty, and that's going to put the Spartans in a territory that they really aren't comfortable with. It's going to be a 3rd and probably a 13 situation.
Sets them back, and I'm sure this is something Coach Kelly was not counting on because with under 5 minutes remaining, I'm pretty sure he wanted to eat that time up, drive the ball down, get some points on the board, and not give that ball back to LeFlore. So 3rd and 12 is the call. West over center looking to take the snap. They play the safe route and hand it off to Williams. He's trying to get up to that first down marker, but he is swarmed over by some Rattlers defenders there. So LeFlore returns the favor, and they hold.
That's a good job by the LeFlore defense, keeping the Spartans to a 3-and-out situation. It's going to put the Spartans defense right back there on the field, and the LeFlore Rattlers, we're in a good situation in the Spartans' red zone area. We're not able to come away with any points, but right now, looks like the field will not be flipped. LeFlore will have great field position after this punt by the Spartans.
Coach Schamberger told me before the game they need to play solid defense. I asked him, are you going to put someone in shadow Jack West? He said, no, we just need to stop that run game. Here's the punt from the Spartans. Receivers back to return it back to get the ball. Some of the LeFlore coaches saying down that, don't let it bounce.
And that's going to be Finley, Rodney Finley on the return for the LeFlore Rattlers. Made the first couple of defenders miss with some great footwork, but overall you look at how the Spartans were able to flip the field, being deep in their own territory now with 2:42 remaining here in the second quarter. It's going to be up for the LeFlore Rattlers to grind it out, and to pound the ball and to try to run this score right into halftime, giving yourself an opportunity to score 6 going into the half.
Under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Stick with us at halftime. We're going to be talking to a young man who played high school football here in Mobile, went on to bigger and better things on the collegiate level, and now he's doing some great things right here in the Mobile area and throughout the Southeast. Mr. Brandon May is going to stop by, and we'll also talk with LeFlore High School principal Alvin Daly. So, of course, we'll feature some bands as well, so stick with us for a halftime. It'll be headed your way shortly. 1st and 10 for the Rattlers, ball on their own 46-yard line. Phelan back there by himself. He takes the snap, and he hauls it off. Looks like that one's going to be out of reach of everyone. Throws it out of bounds. It does stop the clock. Coach Schamberger not too happy with that pass, though.
It's one of those situations where going for the kill shot on first down. Really didn't have anything to lose besides stopping the clock.
We hope you're enjoying the coverage of MCPSS Sports. For more shows about Mobile County Public Schools, watch our 24-hour channel, MCPSS TV. It's also available on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T UVerse On Demand Channel 99, Roku boxes, and MCPSSTheWire.com. Second down for the Rattlers.
And again, you can look for the Spartans probably to call a timeout to try to, if the LeFlore Rattlers are able to pick up a first down, to try to get this ball back. But if you're LeFlore, you're continuing to spread out the Spartans going 4 wide.
Here's a snap. Phelan moving, almost wrapped up, and there he is, brought down for a loss. And that means the clock is still ticking.
and he was a little bit indecisive right there. He had the hole that he wanted. He had trips to the right and a couple of receivers here to the near side of the field, and decided to go ahead and tuck it and run it. But he felt the contact right there in the hole, but he did take care of the football, and there's one of those timeouts that we were talking about, trying to save the clock and give them an opportunity by flipping the field early to try to give themselves better field position if the Spartans are able to get this football back.
Yeah, chess match going on between Coach Kelly and Coach Schamberger. 3rd and 12, the Rattlers will be looking at facing when they come back on the field. And you're right, Coach Kelly trying to preserve time as we approach halftime and try to, if not sneak 6, sneak 3 on the board if you can.
Well, it's one of those situations to where, again, for LeFlore to be effective, they have to control down and distance. You can't be 3rd and 12 and give yourself an opportunity. Now, they were able to convert earlier on a 3rd down and long by a nice route run by the wide receiver. And in this situation, the LeFlore Rattlers are looking to where if you throw the ball, you're going to kill the clock again. So you might as well go ahead and run it to allow Saraland to call another timeout.
Right, use that to your advantage. Saraland down to 1 timeout remaining, 2:21 remaining in the half. Phelan in the backfield there, waiting for the snap in the shotgun. Trips up top. He takes a snap, rolling back. Looks like a screenplay it is. There's James looking for 1 block. Can he get open and get upfield, get some yardage, positive yardage, close to the 1st down marker? Maybe a couple yards shy. Here's the decision for Coach Schamberger.
He's going to punt this football, even though you're right there in 50-50 land where you're on the 48-yard line. I would go ahead and punt the football right here because, again, you're putting the Saraland Spartans, if you're not able to get this 1st down and convert, you're going to only allow the Saraland Spartans to go 52 yards and score. Whereas if you punt it, you're going to go ahead and make them go a little bit deeper. Schamberger's going to go ahead and roll the dice right here and see what happens.
He's going to roll the dice. He feels he has the momentum. 4th and 2, ball on the Saraland 46-yard line. 1:38 remaining in the half. Big play for the Rattlers right here. Can they keep the drive going and get the 1st down? Phelan decides to keep it. He's got a gap, and he is wrapped up and stopped. Ball goes back over to the Spartans.
And that's one of those situations on that option, that read option. He had the opportunity to pitch it or to go ahead and keep it. In his mind, he knew he was going to go ahead and run it. But anytime you're in the shotgun situation, you're already 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
That's right.
So that means you have that much further to go. And in that situation, instead of getting under center and pounding it out, LeFlore feels a lot more confident going into the shotgun set. Unfortunately for the Rattlers, they were unable to convert, and that's going to bring up great field position to where now the Spartans have an opportunity to build upon their lead.
Yeah, this is the position I'm sure Coach Kelly wanted to be in on that last drive, right about here rather than pinned after West was sacked earlier, 1st sack of the game by Tamontre Graham. All right, let's call it 1:23 remaining in the half. West steps back, and he is brought down. The Rattlers defense hold. They shut him down, and they sack him again.
That's Mr. Taj Lucy, 5'11", 345-pound junior, landing on top of Mr. West. And in that situation, you know the Spartans aren't going to take a timeout because they just put it in reverse.
Absolutely. Mr. Lucy laid all of it on him right there. We're under a minute remaining, 2nd and 10 with Saraland with the ball. I guess some decision time here for Coach Kelly. Are they going to force this and try to get on the board? And look at there. Receiver catches it across the middle and across the midfield stripe. Number 5 on the reception for the Spartans.
Jackson Sykes picks up the 1st down, and again, they found that soft spot. And here's that tempo that the Spartans want to play with. They're trying to put points on the board right here before the half. If they're able to pick up another couple 1st downs, I wouldn't be surprised if LeFlore doesn't call a timeout to kind of regroup themselves so they don't give up points before the half.
Saraland still has their timeout with the 1st down. The clock stops to move the chains. West escape. He's got a lot of room. Fakes the throw. He decides to keep it. That may be a costly decision. He is brought down, less than 30 seconds remaining.
And Devontae Williams, right there, we know he had to stop on the play. Jack West is not fleet of foot. He's not the fastest quarterback and probably should have thrown it away right there. Coach Kelly is the quarterbacks coach for the Spartans, a former NFL guy, Southern Miss Golden Eagle. And I know he wanted Jack to throw that ball away right there. But, again, advantage LeFlore Rattlers right there with a huge stop right there, trying to keep the Spartans out of the end zone before the half.
Yeah, he's a junior. He's still a young guy, and you're right about that, Corey. That probably was a situation where you eat that one, you throw it away. Don't take the sack, don't take the tackle, because that allows you to stop the clock and you live for the next play. Now we're looking at 2nd and 12 for Saraland.
28 seconds remaining here in the half, bringing up 2nd down and 12. You know that the Spartans are going to spread the LeFlore Rattlers out. As soon as they make that completion, they're going to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. If they're able to get out of bounds, it'll go ahead and save time on the clock. But the LeFlore Rattlers are trying to keep everything bracketed to where they can keep the Spartans in bounds if possible.
Keep you out number 2, Arian Bell. He's the tallest receiver for the Spartans at 6'1", and the Rattlers don't have a DB over 5'11", so keep your eyes on number 2. He's down here at the bottom of your screen in trip formation. 28 seconds, 2nd and 12. There's West. He's looking over the top, and there he is. Arian Bell, he catches it. Ball down to about the 11-yard line.
Incomplete.
Corey.
He dropped the football.
He
had it, and as he was coming to the ground, again, that was that huge kill shot that you were talking about. You saw the arm strength of Jack West right there. As we look at the replay, Arian Bell had the football, and at the last minute as he was coming to the ground, it was knocked away by 2 LeFlore defenders, and that was, to me, a touchdown save-it situation to where now instead of being close to the goal line, you're right back where you started.
Corey, I said it last week. You got to wrap up the magic bean when you get it. 3rd and 12, ball on the 44-yard line. 21 seconds remaining, and Saraland on the move here. There's a quick out to the receiver. He's trying to get up and get out of bounds, but he cannot. Will Coach Schamberger use a timeout right now?
No, he would not. He'll be happy with the score being 11-8. That's a great job.
He wants it to run.
Yes, he wants the clock to run. That's a great job of the LeFlore defenders, keeping the offensive player bracketed in bounds, and we're going to go to the half.
Great first half we had here. Saraland up 11-8. All the scoring took place in the first quarter. Saraland's drive was stopped, and LeFlore's last drive stopped as well. So great action. We're going to try to check in with Pablo Foster on the sideline. I believe he's trying to catch up with Coach Schamberger to get some ideas and his thoughts in the first quarter. But a lot of quick first quarter action going on there, Corey.
Yeah, great ground control by the LeFlore Rattlers. Got a lot of confidence out of their quarterback, so that's what I know Coach Schamberger's probably wanting to talk about.
Absolutely. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we're going to be talking to Brandon May and also LeFlore principal Alvin Daly. Halftime action headed your way. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. Saraland up 11-8 over LeFlore. Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff, being brought to you by WKRG TV. It's halftime. Saraland is up 11-8, and right now joining me in the booth, we have the principal for LeFlore High School, Mr. Alvin Daly. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, it's a great night. We're hanging in there.
You're
Fighting
hanging
a
in
good
there.
Fight. Yes, sir.
Impressed with the Rattlers' offense and defense so far this game.
Oh, most definitely. This is definitely a big improvement over last week.
Absolutely,
We're
absolutely.
executing.
We're executing.
Yeah.
Well, coming from the principal, that's got to be a good thing.
Oh, yes.
Well, let's talk about LeFlore. Let's talk about the Signature Academy and talk about some of the things going on over at LeFlore High School for the students that they can take advantage of.
Like I said, we are real excited. We're the Academy of Law, Arts, and Health Services, and our students have done a great job over the years in our health science program. We have a 100% CNA pass rate. We have a law program. We worked in conjunction with the attorney Ashley Rich's office.
Oh, the DA's
District
office.
Attorney's office.
Yes, sir.
And our students have participated in teen court. Last year, our kids had over $6 million worth of scholarship offers for a class of 214.
Wow.
So we are very excited. This year, we're off to a great start. The students are enjoying the structure and the discipline, and we are trying to make sure we provide a quality education. Our teachers are coming to work prepared and organized, and we're just doing what we need to do to help make it better.
Talk about the teen court and what the kids go through, because I'm sure they get used to the prosecution side and the defense side and juries, and talk about what they're learning by going through the teen court.
Well, we have about 5 or 6 students that participate with Ashley Rich. They actually do their work at the youth center.
Okay.
And they alternate roles. Somebody will play prosecutor. Someone will play defense attorney. We have a person in the witness stand. And I think they get a chance to learn all aspects of the law. They see what each person has to do, or how critical each person's role is.
Yes.
And so they get some versatility.
Absolutely. You've been at LeFlore 6 years. You've seen some things grow. What are some of the things that you want to continue to happen at LeFlore while you're there?
Well, most of all, I want the students to graduate. So it's important that we increase our graduation rate. Last year, we were at an 86% graduation rate. Our goal is to get 100%. So we are pursuing that. I also want to see the students do their very best and give us 100%, and we want to give 100% back. But to be a quality students that are participating in the community and taxpayers.
So if I'm a viewer at home and I'm a parent and I have a child who may be interested in possibly going to the Signature Academy at LeFlore, talk to me about the steps or processes as to what they need to do. I may be out of the district or in the district. What would need to take place for a parent if I want my child to go there?
Simply come by the school and set up an appointment. We have a Signature Academy specialist. And they can take a tour of the school. They can look at our courtroom. They can check out our health services program. They can see the performing arts, and the band is out there performing. They will be performing shortly. So I say simply come by and visit.
And where are you located at Mobile?
I'm located at 700 Donald Street.
700 Donald Street in Mobile.
Sir.
Principal Alvin Daly, we do appreciate you stopping by and talking to us and talking about the Signature Academy at LeFlore High School. Any last words before we get you out of here?
I'd just like to say, go Rattlers.
We do appreciate that. Principal Alvin Daly here with us in the booth here at halftime. It's 11-8, Saraland on top. We're going to be back with more halftime action. We'll talk to Brandon May up next. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV.
Hello, I'm Helena Tyler. I would like to invite you to join me for Inside Education. Come with us as we take a look at what's happening around Mobile County Public Schools, as well as what's happening in your child's classroom. That's Inside Education, right here on the MCPSS TV network.
We're at halftime here for the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. Just had an opportunity to speak with LeFlore principal Alvin Daly, and he talked about some of the programs at LeFlore High School. Right now, let's take a look at the LeFlore High School Medical Clinic.
Mobile County Public Schools and the University of South Alabama have formed a partnership to create the Student Health Services Center at LeFlore High School. Doctors and residents from USA will staff the center, serving students and mentoring others who hope to train for careers in the healthcare field. LeFlore healthcare science instructor Kathy Shelton says South Alabama got involved by giving physicals to athletes. They soon found, however, that there was an even greater need.
We started doing physicals and we found that a lot of our students have problems with diabetes and hypertension that they were not even aware of. So we want to do some education on that as well so that we can try to help with some of the healthcare disparities that we see in our population of students.
Dr. Michael Linder, professor of family medicine at South Alabama, said the desire to address those needs ultimately resulted in the partnership that created the health clinic.
And our idea is that if we catch these kids and treat them early on with these symptoms, we're going to prevent problems later on showing up with these kids and get them some health care that they might not otherwise have access to.
The clinic will also provide learning opportunities for students.
We've learned personal qualities of a healthcare professional, and we've learned, soft skills, how to talk to people, how to know exactly how to speak to patients, and just knowing how to work in an environment and know how to structure yourself well and present yourself to adults.
LeFlore currently offers a certified nursing assistance program at the school. And for the students in that program, this allows them the chance to work side by side with healthcare professionals.
And it's geared towards helping students to stay healthy and to be healthy in our schools. And we're hoping that in doing this, that our students are higher achievers.
And that's a look at the LeFlore High School Medical Clinic. It's halftime here at the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. I told you we had another guest going to join us this evening. And right now I have in the studio with me Brandon May. How you doing, Mr. May?
I'm doing awesome, man. Thank you for having me.
Well, we appreciate you being here. You're a former football player. You played here locally in Mobile County. Tell us about yourself, and maybe some of the viewers can understand your connection to Mobile County Public Schools.
Yes, sir. First off, I just want to give thanks to God for this opportunity to be standing here before you.
Absolutely.
And speaking on behalf of Mobile Public School System, an awesome place, man. My background, grew up in Pritchard, Alabama. Ran off and played college football, was an All-American at Clemson University.
Okay.
3-time academic All-American also, and that's the part I'm most proud about, maximizing my academics. And then had the opportunity to go to the NFL with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before sustaining a career-ending injury. After that, it led me to write my first book.
Wow.
It went on to sell over 2,000 copies in the first 3 weeks.
Okay.
Made me a best-selling author, and now I have been going all across the country, sharing my message and motivating people as a national motivational speaker.
Let's talk about that message and your personal story that you give off when you speak to groups or individuals or churches or teams who ask you to come by. What are some of the things you talk about?
Yes, sir. I'm actually a performance coach, so I focus on leadership, teamwork, mental toughness, and just maximizing the moment. That's very important because you look at life, man. You get older and get in a nursing home one day, and you look in the eyes of some of those people. I've had the great opportunity of serving some of those people, older people, elderly people in the nursing home, and I look into some of their eyes, and I can see the regret that's on their eyes, that they never really, maximized the moment and lived out their dreams. And so for me, my only objective is to motivate the people to maximize the moment, to go all in. Every single day is a blessing from God, and so you must maximize that moment.
Let's take that to the athletic field right now. You talked about leadership and maximizing. You played for some coaches here in town. Matter of fact, I was told you played for Coach Schamberger in middle school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I played for Coach Sham. He's a great coach. These guys out here, and they're competing, and that's what Coach Schamberger stands for. He stands for going in. I heard you talking about last week the mistakes that the guys had and some of the penalties that they had. The great thing about Coach Schamberger, he gets it corrected, and he gets to the next week, and that's the great part about him, man. He really get his guys to go all in and perform at a high level.
We're talking with Brandon May here with us at halftime, the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. So you played for Coach Schamberger in middle school, Coach Fred Riley at Davidson, and then in college I heard you play for a guy who used to play at Alabama, but he's at Clemson. Talk about Coach Sweeney there.
Dabo Sweeney, man. He off the charts, man. He's a fan favorite here in Mobile.
Okay.
I'm actually bringing him in next spring to launch my nonprofit organization,
Great.
giving back to the youth and further education opportunities for the youth. So Coach Dabo, man, he's just a standout guy. All the things that people see on TV, he's jumping around and motivating his kids and stuff, man. He lived that lifestyle. He's a great husband. He's a great man of God. And so he stands for all the right things, and that's why he's having success. That's why the team is having great success.
You played in the ACC. You played with Clemson. Talk about playing at that level collegiately and what educationally prepared you for, if I'm not playing this game anymore, what am I going to do in the next step?
My mom did a great job. My parents did an awesome job stepping in there, man, and really enforcing in the household. Okay. Then my sisters would go off and get a high school diploma first and foremost, and then after that to further education opportunities, going and maximizing that moment. They did a great job of helping us dial in on the moment. And I really like talking about the moment, man, understanding the process, dude, because when you get in there and you get into that classroom, you got to compete with some of the top people that was like top of their class. And I ended up graduating with a 3.8 GPA at 21 years old. And a lot of it goes back to the Mobile public school system, the curriculums they have set up, that the teachers that they have in place that really care about their students.
So we have parents, we have kids watching us. Talk about, you said the process. Go to school, stay in school, engage in the process. I was on your website, and that quote stuck out to me, Brandon.
Yes, sir. Basically what that means, man, is show up. Don't just be showing up. Show up with a purpose. And when you're there and you're at school, engage in the process and never drop out. Always finish what you start. And you started at a young age. Your mom put you in pre-K, so there's no need for you to be dropping out. You must now complete the race. And so that's my thing, man. And when you're at school, don't just be at school. Be engaging in the process. Be there actually to learn. Don't just be there to be the class clown to be on the back of the row. Get to the front of the classroom. Engage in the process, because one thing about education that I really like is that it gives you options.
Right.
So I'll be honest. I'll tell you guys, I hated school, but I love options. And education gave me options.
I understand that.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got you here. I'm gonna let you do your thing. Go ahead and plug yourself. We got the picture of the book right there. Talk about the website and what can people do to get in contact with you.
Yes, sir. Just go to www.brandonmay.org. We're now transferring everything over from .com to .org.
Okay.
We just launched the 501c3, the Brandon May Foundation. We're going to be doing mentorship programs here. We're going to be taking kids off, letting them see colleges. Not only letting them see colleges, helping them get scholarships, giving them scholarships, putting them in position to be successful. Because it's one thing to talk about it, being successful and all that. Right. But when you come back to your hometown and you help these kids get out, you help these kids create hope. And the reason some of them never really maximize their moment because nobody really gave them the hope that they deserve. And so I'm back in Mobile to give hope. Right. That's my plan.
All right. Hope. Brandon May, we do appreciate you joining us. BrandonMay.org. Go check it out. And he's doing his thing right now. We appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
And congrats for everything in the future. Stick with us. More is headed your way. Halftime here. MCPSS Thursday night kickoff brought to you by WKRG TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, Spartans, now, move to the edges of your seat as the lovely ladies strike
Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff brought to you by WKRG TV. It's halftime here at Lab Peebles Stadium. Saraland up 11-8. Corey, a very explosive first half, but most importantly, an explosive first quarter we had.
Yeah, it was very clean. The Rattlers got off early. DeJuan James bust one early, 16-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion was good. LeFlore goes up 8-0 early. Then the Saraland Spartans were able to kick a 32-yard field goal. Justin Harbor making the score 8-3. The 2-point conversion later on by the Spartans makes this a ball game. You look at the LeFlore Rattlers being sacked in the first half. Jack West hasn't had a lot of success being disrupted defensively by the Rattlers. And right now, LeFlore has established the type of tempo in this game that they would like.
I understand. Like I said, first quarter, very explosive, Corey. Second quarter had its up and down moments. Both teams, if you could say, had opportunities wasted to get some more points on the board.
Yeah, you look at the score being 11-8 right now. If you're the LeFlore Rattlers, that first possession was very beneficial and fruitful for you. From 1 week ago, you had too many penalties, which disrupted the offensive rhythm. Sean Phelan only completed one pass last week. Today, he's 9 out of 10 thus far tonight, having a lot of success going to DeJuan James, his running back. DeJuan James has 101 yards rushing here in the first half with 1 touchdown. Also has 4 receiving yards for some 40-plus yards. So right now the Rattlers are in a good position, only trailing by 3. The only thing I can see here in the second half, Al, is the special teams by LeFlore. They don't necessarily have a great field goal kicker. With that being said, at being a 3-point margin, they're going to have to put 6 on the board and tack on an extra 2 to go ahead and create that separation for themselves.
This is one of those games where, for LeFlore, their best offense is literally keeping the offense on the field and keeping the clock running, because if they're not on the field, you're allowing Saraland to get points on the board. But that defense has somewhat stepped up tonight for LeFlore. Not saying they shut Jack West down, but they kind of did stop the running game for Saraland there.
They did do a great job of shutting Jack West down. 2 out of 5 was Jack West, and he only threw for 26 yards. Here's a young man who's verbally committed as a junior to Stanford. And when you look at his numbers, only being 2 out of 5 on the flip side, Sean Phelan being 9 out of 10 for 81 yards. Time of possession has been critical for the LeFlore Rattlers. They controlled the ball 16 minutes and 28 seconds in the first half to only 6 minutes and 9 seconds for the Spartans. So you look at the ball control here. If you're the Spartans, you want to try to flip that number in the second half. Even though the Spartans play with great tempo, only having 11 points on the board right now, Jeff Kelly probably wants a lot more.
I'm sure he does. Stick with us. We're coming back with second half action. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV.
Hello, I'm Helena Tyler. I would like to invite you to join me for Inside Education. Come with us as we take a look at what's happening around Mobile County Public Schools, as well as what's happening in your child's classroom. That's Inside Education, right here on the MCPSS TV network.
Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey Bounty. Corey, we were just talking about some halftime stats from LeFlore and Saraland. Tell me, if you're Coach Schamberger, what did you talk to your kids about in the locker room?
You're telling them to make sure that you continue to play with the type of intensity and confidence that you did in the first half. Also, the mistake-free football as a whole was very, very much better in a situation 1 week ago where they committed way too many penalties, and you've eliminated those mental mistakes here in the first half. So that's been a beneficial part for the LeFlore Rattlers, only trailing by 3 here at halftime.
Now, if you're Coach Kelly, on the converse, you just talked about the stats that Jack West had and what they're doing.
It's going to be interesting to see. I guarantee you'll see a different Spartans team here in the second half. They're going to play with better intensity and tackle better.
Let's take it down to the sidelines. Pablo Foster has Coach Anthony Schamberger.
Al, Corey, thank you so much. Coach Schamberger, you said you were going to have your team play more aggressive and play more sound. Both of those things seem to happen relative to week 1. What do you credit that to?
I think kids going back watching the tape, the coaches corrected some things with them during the week in practice, and it's starting to show up this first half.
Now, what can you say about the improved play, again, relative to week 1 of Sean Phelan?
He's doing a whole lot better. He's making his reads and taking his time and completing the ball like we needed him to do, and kind of proud of him tonight.
Now, what'd you tell him in the locker room at halftime to get him through half number 2?
Just stay focused and continue to play like you did the first half.
There you go. More of the same.
Yes, sir.
There you go, guys. Back to you upstairs as we start the second half.
Thank you, Pablo. We appreciate that. So as I'm asking you about Coach Schamberger, Pablo had him on the sideline, Corey.
And that's very beneficial. When you hear it out of the horse's mouth, it's going to be interesting to see what type of intensity the Spartans come away with. We talked just a moment ago that Coach Kelly's probably peeling the paint off that locker room wall down there in the Spartans locker room.
Right.
So you have people kind of shaking their heads saying, is this LeFlore team for real? Because they're showing some things that they did not show on film a week ago. That read option by Phelan has been very, very effective for LeFlore. Also, the ability to convert on early down situations, as well as complete passes, because that's given a lot of confidence to Sean Phelan. So it'll be interesting to see if he can continue to make good decisions with the football. No turnovers for the LeFlore Rattlers, and I think that's been critical as well.
Absolutely. You're right about that, Corey. Right now we're getting close to getting back to third quarter action. Let's take a look at the 5A standings. We got polls that came in this week. So right now, this is the region as it's wrapping up. Of course, Viger and Williamson, they both lost last week. St. Paul's pulled out their victory as well. So that's your area, 5A Region 1 area standing. So we'll take a look at 6A here momentarily. 6A Region 1, you like to call it the SEC West, Corey?
No doubt about it, Alan. This is right here and right now for the LeFlore Rattlers. You have an opportunity to make or break yourselves in week number 2, but again, this is a critical region matchup. You put yourself in the driver's seat on the top of 6A Region 1 if you're able to win this game.
All right, there's 6A Region 1, and now we'll move to 7A Region 1. Right there you have Davidson, Foley, McGill, Mary Montgomery, and Theodore all picking up wins. Bryan and Murphy, they had the scrimmages last week. Those games didn't count. And Baker and Fairhope, early losses in the season. So tomorrow night, that MGM Theodore game that we're going to have Friday night, that's going to be a big game with Region play starting right now.
It's going to be critical. I mean, you look at McGill, Davidson at the lip, then you turn around MGM and Theodore. It's not going to get any better. Coach Seymour taking in this contest and joining a little Thursday night football. That's MGM's head coach. He's looking forward to see if his team, under their motto, never bow down, takes advantage of that motto this game tomorrow against the Bobcats.
Later on, we'll get you the 5A, 6A, and 7A state polls as they came out earlier this week. We're almost ready for second half action. Saraland will be receiving the ball. Back for Saraland, we have a few returners lined up: Alex Sweet, Dominio Williams, and Wydell Flock. There's the kick. It's brought down. Returner bringing it back up to about the 15, weaving its way to the 20, 25, up to about the 28-yard line. Jackson Sykes on the return.
Latravius Rankin does a great job on special teams for the Rattlers. That's his second tackle tonight on special teams, and it's going to bring up a good situation for the Saraland Spartans, starting at their own 30-yard line here to start the second half. You know Coach Kelly saying, hey, Jack West, please make better decisions with the football. If it's not there, throw it away. Don't force the ball. He only threw one interception a week ago against Baker, and this LeFlore team had 2 takeaways a week ago on intercepting the ball. So, again, here in the second half, going to be important for LeFlore to go ahead and get momentum defensively.
First and 10, handoff to, I believe that's Pierman, and he goes out wide. He's getting big yardage on the LeFlore defense, brought down across midfield, maybe about the 46, 47-yard line.
And anytime you can get that deep into the secondary and you have your safety and cornerbacks coming up for help, making the tackles on the play, that's going to spell trouble. That moves the chains very quickly, and we talked about the tempo that Saraland wants to play with. They're right back to the line of scrimmage ready for the next snap.
Pierman led rushing last week with 87 yards for the Spartans, brought down for a loss right there behind the line of scrimmage.
Tamontre Graham does a great job right there. No one picks him up. He does a great job from his outside linebacker position, coming up and making a huge stop for the Rattlers. And what that does slow the tempo down. Anytime you're able to take away and negate yards early on first down, it creates a different type of call on second down.
Second and 14 is the call right now. West in a shotgun, waiting for the snap. He takes it. He's scouring the field and looking for a receiver. Sets up a screen, and he is off, headed to the races, and brought down maybe at about the 15, 14-yard line. Big play for Saraland right there, number 20, Jay Williams, sophomore, 5'10", 147.
And they took a page out of LeFlore's playbook, a little short screen action, and they're able to go ahead and find that crease right there and turn it up. Now they're going to go quick tempo again, getting it deep into the LeFlore red zone area.
Maybe looking at a quick score here in the third quarter for Saraland. First and 10, ball on the 15-yard line. Spartans inside the red zone. Hand off to Williams. He's brought down by a LeFlore defender after picking up a couple.
And that's going to be Big Lucy, the defensive lineman right there, 345 pounds, making a great stop for the LeFlore Rattlers. But Saraland has come out with a lot of intensity, showing that Saraland strength that we talked about in part of Corey's checklist.
Second and 7 for the Spartans. They're on the move. Got to thank my folks over at Tender Bones Catering. We were on the move at halftime. TenderBonesCatering.com. Check them out for all your catering needs. Second and 7 for Saraland. West looks to the sideline. I thought I saw a Rattler jump, and there's the flag.
And again, that's that hard count that Jack West does a great job of doing. And if you're on the offense.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's the call.
That's the second time tonight that with that hard cadence, he's made the Rattlers jump. You have to watch that football. If you're the offensive team, you know what the snap count is, so you don't have any business moving. The Rattlers weren't watching the football, listening to that hard cadence. Encroachment was the call.
Second and 7 for Saraland. They can get a first down without having to score and get 4 more downs. Actually, second and 2 right now after that penalty. Pierman up the middle, close to a possible first down, maybe 1 or 2.
And it's going to bring up third down and short for the Spartans. And in their big old package, they also have the ability to go to their fullback, Walker Nolan, number 87, if they decide to line up in that I formation. So here they go. It's going to be interesting to see what the call is going to be right here on third down and short, as Brendan Stewart will be the fullback behind Jack West.
3rd and 1 is the call right there for Saraland. Stewart picked up 4 yards last week on rushing. And there's the call, and he powers into the end zone, and that is a touchdown for Saraland.
And again, they just made that look easy. We talked about what kind of momentum would the Spartans come out with to start the second half, and they drove that ball right down the field just like LeFlore was able to do to open up the contest.
6-yard run for Pierman, picks up the touchdown, puts the Spartans up. Justin Harper back for the PAT to extend the lead. Kick is up, and it looks good, but no, it's not good. No good. So Saraland 17, LeFlore 8. Quick score for the Spartans coming out of the locker room. Let's take it down to the sidelines and check in with Pablo Foster.
Al, Corey, Coach Kelly said his team's got to finish drives. That was one of the things that plagued them during that Baker game last week. Luckily enough, they were able to survive it. They did a good job in the first half, and you see it again here leading off the second half. Finishing drives, a big push for the Spartans coming into the second half of this game.
Now
thank you, Pablo. We appreciate that.
the Spartans leading now, by a score of 17-8. That's a huge score. Even though they missed the PAT, they really established the type of tempo that they really wanted to get into the first half, picked up probably double the number of yards that they were able to pick up in the first half as well.
Absolutely. 17-8 is our score. Saraland up over LeFlore. Coach Jeff Kelly entering his 6th year. Overall, Corey's got a 47-16 record. Back in 2014, he took the Spartans all the way to the state championship game. They came up a bit short, but that was a huge year for the Spartans, led by quarterback Chris Weaver.
And
back
again,
there in 14.
Yeah, they came up just a couple of yards short of winning the state championship. But, this team was young. 2 years ago seems like an eternity ago. This Saraland Spartan team is fairly young. They're looking to establish their own identity and leave their own footprints in history.
There's the kickoff taken by LeFlore back. He brings it up to about the 26, 27-yard line. We'll get the spot from the officials here as LeFlore gets another shot at it here.
And that's going to be DeJuan James on the return. You kind of look at the monitor right there. It looks a little bit disheartened, maybe a little bit of tired. He had over 101 yards rushing and a touchdown in the first half. It'll be interesting to see what the LeFlore play call will be right here. Will they come out in the second half and continue to spread the Spartan defense out? And did the defensive coaches by Saraland have opportunity at halftime to make the correct adjustments against this spread type of offense?
But Coach Hamburger talked about in media days. He's hoping they could get DeJuan James moving that ball maybe up to 1,200, 1,500 yards this season. He's got a big offensive line. They averaged 295 in front of him. So if he ran for over 100 in the first half, that's a huge advantage for LeFlore. We'll see how that plays out the rest of the night. Before LeFlore gets the playoff, there's a flag on the play.
Maybe a false start
prior
penalty.
To the snap, legal procedure. On the offense, it's a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
All right, LeFlore starting off going backwards again, Corey. That's not what Coach Schamberger wants right now.
No doubt about it. We know one of the keys to the game is going to be to stay ahead of the down and distance situation. 1st and 15. Yes, the field is still spread for LeFlore, but you're going to have to run an excellent route to make sure you get Phelan's confidence back to where it needs to be.
You spoke a lot about down and distance in the first half. Pass incomplete by Phelan. Almost as if he didn't get it to the receiver there.
Yeah, he's had a lot more success rolling to his right versus rolling to his left tonight. I think he has one completion when he does decide to roll out to his left, and that's the shortness that we saw in his arm strength 1 week ago against Williamson. This past week, he had an opportunity to work on his mechanics, but that time he just short-armed the throw. You got to give your receiver an opportunity to catch the football.
2nd and 15, ball on the 23-yard line of LeFlore. They're trying to get a first down. Offense coordinator and Phelan, they spread them out. Phelan hands off to James. He's got a lot of room to move up the middle. Gets a lot of that yardage back, so that'll give LeFlore a decent attempt here at 3rd down. Maybe 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5 possibly to get another first down.
Going to bring up 3rd down and 3 for the LeFlore Rattlers right at their own 35-yard line. So that changes the playbook. You can open it up a little bit more in this situation. We know LeFlore likes to go to the shotgun setting. And with that being said, it gives them an opportunity to kind of figure out, hey, do we want to go run option here? But if there's a flag on the play, it's going to back them right back up.
As you were pointing that out, Corey, I noticed there is a little dirty yellow rag on the field there. LeFlore going backwards again.
On the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Down remains 2.
Rattler spread them out, but it was an illegal formation. So we'll play that down over again. We'll bring that back 2nd and 15 again.
Yeah, the good thing about it, if you're LeFlore, you had something positive happen prior to the snap. The bad thing is the play was totally negated by the penalty.
Right. So they're marching the Rattlers back, and we'll get it again. Looking about 2nd and 15, we'll replay that down as the official heads out on the field to pick up his flag.
It's officially, they marked it back, going to bring up 2nd down and 18 for the LeFlore Rattlers. And with this situation, LeFlore had a lot of confidence with the short screen passes when it's 2nd and 3rd and long. Let's see if they go to that here, Al.
Phelan with 3 receivers at the top. He takes a snap, fakes a pass, sets up the screen. They've run that a lot tonight. Up the middle comes the receiver. I believe that's James on the reception there. and possibly gets back to the original line of scrimmage, Corey.
Yeah, that's something that they had a lot of success with in the first quarter on the opening drive. As you look at the replay, Phelan right there finds James on the little nice screen tunnel pass almost. He wasn't able to get the type of burst that he wanted, but again, was able to gain back some of those yards. And in this situation, you don't want to be deep in your own territory, so every yard is very valuable for the LeFlore Rattlers.
As we approach 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter, ball placed on the 28-yard line. 3rd and 10. The line to get is the 38 of LeFlore. They're trying to keep this drive going. Phelan rolls back and looks over the middle. Got a receiver wide up the middle, and that is incomplete. Just out of the outstretched hands. I believe, is that Finley?
Roberts right there was the intended receiver.
Jaquan Roberts.
And you got to make that catch and completion right there if you're the LeFlore Rattlers. You got what you wanted in that situation. Came away empty, and it's going to bring up, looks like a punting situation. If it holds right there, it's going to be 3rd down.
Well, on the field, the marker says 3rd, but on the scoreboard it says 4th down.
So we had a
replay of 2nd. That was 3rd. This should be 4th down. They have just changed the marker on the field to reflect 4th down as well. I believe there was a little confusion on the 4th sideline, Corey, about what down was it.
In this situation, you're going to have to punt the ball. You're deep in your own territory. I know Coach Schamberger rolled the dice earlier right before halftime and chose not to punt the football, but I think he's going to regroup himself, decide, and get together with his team, decide what he wants to do.
He does. Matter of fact, Coach Schamberger calls the timeout right here at 7:46. Let's take a look at some of the standings right now as we bring those up on the screen. 5A, Week 1, here's the top 10 poll, as you can see right there. 2-time defending champ St. Paul's, 27 first-place votes. Jackson right there in 2nd place. Down at the bottom, Viger, they took a loss last week, but they still got 2 votes to possibly get into the poll there.
And that's going to be a huge game against Baker tomorrow night at Pritchard Stadium for the Viger Wolves, trying not to start their season 0-2.
There it is. Saraland ranked number 8, Spanish Fort number 3, defending 6A champ, Blunt number 2, and there's Clay Chalkville sitting up top, the 6A Week 1 top 10 poll. I'm with you, Corey. That's SEC West and SEC East right there.
There's going to be some great games played in 6A Region 1, and as we look at 7A, Al, it's going to be interesting to see if McGill-Tooling can continue to hold on to that number 1 spot.
That's right. Murphy ranked number 3, and down at the bottom, Foley picked up some votes, 2 votes this past week. They're 1-0, and Mary Montgomery still picking up votes. A lot of folks have their eyes on the Vikings this season. So that's a look at our 5A, 6A, 7A top 10 poll brought to you by the Alabama Sports Writers Association. 8:31 remaining in third quarter. It's 4th and 10. The Rattlers do decide to punt.
And they're going to punt to a most dangerous player, Flott, for the Saraland Spartans. Again, he's the speedster on this team. He's going to go ahead and let this take a good bounce.
Good punt for James there. Kind of somewhat flips the field. I mean, Saraland is still decent field position, but from what LeFlore couldn't do, that's a good opportunity for them to punt that ball away.
Anytime you have an opportunity to flip the field in your favor, it's a great opportunity for the LeFlore Rattlers because you were deep in your own territory. You kind of were taking away that drive by penalties. In this situation, we know Saraland's looking to jump back in that tempo, now up 17-8 on the LeFlore Rattlers. The LeFlore Rattlers defense has been on the field. We said that the Saraland Spartans wanted to flip the time of possession here in the second half, and thus far have been able to do so.
Right. Flock couldn't bring that one in. He let it go out of bounds. The DB for Saraland, he's 5'11", 161. He has offers from Troy, Louisiana Lafayette, Arkansas State, South Alabama, and Appalachian State. So a lot of folks got their eyes on Mr. Flott. Jack West, 1st and 10 in the shotgun, decides to hand it off to Demian Williams, and he's up the middle, and he's off to the races, and he is gone. 35-30, 25-20, possibly brought down, and ball escapes, and it goes back out of bounds. Let's see where the official marks it at. He's going to take it to where he was brought down. Big run by Williams from Saraland.
And that's a touchdown-saving tackle right there by Desmond Gully, the defensive back / wide receiver for the LeFlore Rattlers. Like you said, it was a track meet, and unfortunately for the LeFlore Rattlers, they did not pick up the block right there, and off to the races were the Spartans.
Good call by Coach Kelly. The offense kind of caught those Rattlers off guard, possibly looking for a pass, and they handed off to the run. There's Pyramid, the big bruising back, and he hits a wall of Rattlers and is bounced back.
That wall right there would be called Taj Lucy.
That's a big wall.
345-pound wall right there. You saw him bounce of him and go backwards, and that's a good situation for the LeFlore Rattlers because now it brings up second down and goal, actually, for the Spartans.
Ball on the 7-yard line. You're right, Corey. Second and goal. No first down here, and Jack West is sacked.
And that's, again, the 4th time tonight Jack West has been sacked. A dialed-up blitz right there, perfectly called, not picked up. Randy Wiggins with the huge sack for the LeFlore Rattlers.
You called his name a few times last week, so that was a big play for the Rattlers to stop that momentum of Saraland. 2 plays back-to-back, matter of fact.
And again, you're going in reverse if you're the Spartans. And now that brings up 3rd down and goal for the Spartans. And again, we've seen their field goal kicker kick one earlier in the first quarter, Justin Harper. Let's see if you're going to put him in field goal situation if they're not able to convert right here.
Yeah, Harper connected on the 32-yarder. Ball's on the 28-yard line. We have a stoppage in play here by the officials. Timeout was called by LeFlore just before the snap, so Coach Schamberger gets the timeout just in time. Now, they have the scoreboard at 3, but I'm of the impression that's his second timeout he's taking, Corey.
And again, I mean, you're at 3rd down and goal from the 28-yard line. You cannot, if you're the LeFlore Rattlers, allow the Saraland Spartans into the end zone in this situation. You don't want to commit a silly penalty, again, that will allow them to get 15 free yards as well. Just bracket your coverage, keep everything in front of you, and keep fundamentally sound if you're the LeFlore Rattlers because, again, there's not too many coaches in America that have a play dialed up for 3rd down and goal from the 28-yard
line. Coach Schamberger told me before the game, I asked him about the inordinate amount of penalties last week. I said, what did you talk with your kids about? He said, you know what? I just broke the film down. We looked at what happened, talked about our mistakes, and we're trying to address it tonight.
Well, from right here, it'll be a 45-yard field goal attempt if the Rattlers are able to hold tight right here and not give up any yards by the Spartans. But, again, I look for LeFlore right here just to keep everything in front of them. As long as they don't let any defensive backs get behind them, they should be in good situation. And at worst-case scenario, only give up 3.
All right, let's see what Coach Kelly and the offensive crew have called up here for the Spartans. 3rd and 28. It's 3rd and goal. You can call it that. Spartans up 17-8. Exactly 7:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter. West rolls back, tries to set up the screen, trying to escape. And looks like he's going to throw it away. Had an intended receiver, couldn't get it to him. The Rattlers brought the heat and the pressure, so maybe that was a smart timeout for Coach Schamberger there.
It was a very smart timeout. In this situation, the Rattlers didn't let anything get from behind them. Made Jack West get very antsy in the pocket, didn't let him set his feet. And because he wasn't able to set his feet, that's going to bring up a 45-yard field goal attempt by the Saraland Spartans.
Harper out to kick this one. See if he's got the leg for it. There's the snap, but we have some movement, and flags are out.
And if it's against the Spartans.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So the Rattlers are going to give him an extra 5 yards to get him 5 yards closer, Corey.
And that's something that just cannot happen. You know, you know where the football is in that situation. You cannot have encroachment called against you, especially on a field goal kick, and give them a free 5 yards.
So it looks like Harper's going to kick this one from the 20. He had a 32-yarder earlier that went through, and that one is good.
And that's going to be a 30-yard strike for 3 for the Saraland Spartans.
Saraland up 20-8 over LeFlore. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV.
The more parents are involved in school, the more likely it is a child will succeed. Children with involved parents and attend school regularly make better grades and have better social skills. Every involved parent makes a difference.
Get involved. Ask about your child's day. Explain how your education matters. Parent involvement, it matters.
You can find more information on parent involvement at mcpss.com.
Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. I'm Al Wheaton, joined in the booth by Coralie Bounty. And on the sidelines, we have Pablo Foster. We're going to check in with him momentarily. Saraland up 20-8. I know Coach Kelly wanted to get 6, but I'm sure he'll take the 3 right there, Corey.
Again, you don't want to leave points on the board and on the field, and that's what the Spartans were able to convert on. Long situation, but were able to put 3 on the board.
LeFlore with the return up to about the 30-yard line. Let's take it to the sidelines. Check in once again with Pablo Foster.
Hey, what's up, guys? Coach Kelly talked about the fact he was going to bring different looks and the consistency of the run game, and it's working again just like it has before. But when you got multiple weapons like that, it's going to happen. And you look at the amount of defense Coach Schamberger said he was going to bring against that run game, and this is where those things, the immovable object, the unstoppable force, one of them's got to give, and thus far, the running game's winning out.
You're right about that, Pablo. Talk with Coach Kelly before the game. As I mentioned, he said it's running back by committee. He's going to use all 3 of them. He said you're going to see them, and we have seen all 3 of them in action tonight. 6:39, 1st and 10 for LeFlore. Ball on their own 31-yard line. Handoff to James up the middle. He gets a few, not slashing in the third quarter as he was in the first and second there, Corey.
Going straight at the Saraland defense. Larson Hall, 5'9", 191-pound sophomore on the stop. But, again, that's positive yards on first down for the LeFlore Rattlers, something that they need to continue to have success on. First down success is going to be influential in them winning this football game.
2nd and 5. He picked up 5 yards. That didn't look like it, but he carried the load. He got 5 yards. So, ball on the 36-yard line.
And that's what they were able to do in the first quarter, just have success running the ball on first down. It creates second opportunity or secondary pass opportunities right here on 2nd down and 5.
Under 6 minutes, LeFlore with possession here. Phelan waiting for the snap, fakes and decides to keep it. Weaving his way, goes outside and got a lot of room close to the midfield stripe and picks up that first down.
And that's his longest run of the contest. He was able to decide in his mind from the beginning that he wanted to go, and after he got past the initial first defender, he was able to burst quickly and get that first down. As we look at the replay, that was run all the way by Sean Phelan. Great job right there blocking on the outside by Finley, and it created a 1st and 10 situation for the LeFlore Rattlers.
It is. We have a heat timeout right now, under 6 minutes, so we got a break in action. Stick with us. We'll be right back. More action is headed your way. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV.
I started off at Fondy Elementary, then I went to Azalea Middle School, and then Davidson High School for my high school years. The Mobile County Public School system prepared me for my career by showing me why it was so important to give back. I am involved with the Big Brother Big Sister program, and I've been paired with a young boy that was in the 3rd grade and is now finishing up the 4th grade, and it gives me an opportunity to give back and help mentor him.
The class of 2015 earned over $97 million in scholarships, and the class of 2016 is already on its way, graduating students who are college and career ready. It starts with us.
Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff. 3rd quarter action. Phelan attempts and throws. Is it intercepted or incomplete?
Incomplete.
Appears to be incomplete. I see several officials waving it off there, Corey.
And again, it's one of those throws to where Finley was open. You want to hit him, give your receiver an opportunity to catch the ball. You move the sticks and get ahead of the sticks if he's able to complete that pass. Good play call right there by the LeFlore Rattlers. Unfortunately, on first down, you were not able to come up with the completion. 2nd down and 10 for the Rattlers.
I agree. That was a good play call. 2nd and 10. Doesn't really hurt you too much there. You're right at the midfield stripe. 2nd and 10, ball on your own 47.
And the LeFlore Rattlers looking to spread the Spartans out again. It starts with Phelan. He has the ability on that read option whether he wants to keep it or whether he wants to hit his receivers, and it's up to him making those decisions.
Phelan takes a snap, rolls out to his right. You talked earlier, he throws better from his right than the left and gets that one complete to the receiver across the midfield stripe. picks up 4 or 5.
And that's his fullback, Damian McMillan, coming out, spreading out the field right there, making a great catch for the LeFlore Rattlers. Now brings up close to 3rd down and 5 for the Rattlers right from the Spartans' 48-yard line.
McMillan, one of those two-way players for LeFlore, plays defensive back as well, so he should have the hands to bring that in.
And right now, if you're the LeFlore Rattlers, you have a good offensive rhythm going. You want to go ahead and continue to establish this tempo.
Right.
Go ahead and maintain this drive. Hopefully it will lead to points for the LeFlore Rattlers, and if it does, you'll see that sideline become energetic like they were in the first quarter.
3rd and 5. Rattlers trying to keep the drive going. Phelan rolls out to his left, looking for a receiver, cuts back, and he's wrapped up and brought down. The Spartans unite and bring him down for a major loss.
And that's a great stop right there by Nate Thomas, the big nose guard. He just kept coming and kept coming. Phelan did a good job of not turning the ball over for the LeFlore Rattlers. He had to eat the ball and take that sack, but in that situation, you give your team an opportunity to live another down by punting the football away instead of turning it over.
That's right. James will handle the punting duties for LeFlore. Dwan James, Mr. Do-It-All for the Rattlers. And back for Saraland, Wydell Flott waiting for the punt.
And, you know, the Rattlers are able to get this punt off, and it's going to be edged off to the side away from Flott. And there's a reason for that, because Flott has exceptional blazing speed. If he's able to catch that ball on the run, dangerous things can happen. Good punt right there. You're able to kind of save face and flip the field a little bit. Now you're asking your defense to dig down deep. The offense was able to get a couple of plays together, allowing the defense a small opportunity to rest.
Right.
Now, if the Spartans are able to score right here, you may see the air come out of the balloon for the LeFlore Rattlers. The LeFlore Rattlers right now either need to get a stop or create some type of turnover to get the momentum back on the sidelines.
They had 3 interceptions last week. And right now, one would be huge for them. 3:52, Saraland takes control right now. 3:52 remaining in the 3rd quarter. West in the shotgun, waiting for the snap, looks to the sideline, approaches the center, trips to the bottom of the screen. Hands off to the big back, Perryman. I'm sorry, that's Williams, and he's up the middle, slashing, gaining yardage past the midfield point into Rattler territory.
And that's a good job right there of the LeFlore Rattlers coming up again to save a touchdown, because Jonathan Perryman was switching the ball from his right hand to his left hand like good ball carriers do to create an opportunity for him to have that extra burst. As we look right there, the Rattlers were fortunate to come up with the stop. Saraland going quick tempo.
Yeah, we'll check that, Corey. It was Williams on the carry there. 3:34 remaining in the 3rd quarter. West looks to the sideline for his instructions. 1st and 10, ball on the Rattlers 36-yard line, and Saraland on the move again. Here comes the blitz, a little screen set up by the Spartans, and off to the races they go to the end zone. Touchdown for Saraland, number 20 on the score. Jay Williams, we called his name earlier, and he's in the end zone.
We talked about his speed. He got an earlier pass right there on the same type of sidelines, and he was able to turn it up for a huge gain for the Spartans. That one led to 6. You look at the great blocking that he had out in front of him. The big left tackle, Treherne, out there punishing the defensive backs, and they were able to put 6 on the board, and that's a huge score for the Spartans, and now they're trying to separate themselves as they've taken over here in the second half.
PAT is up, and it is good. Saraland out to a big lead, 27-8 over LeFlore here at Lab People Stadium for the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. Coach Kelly talking about his young players. He said, we've got some talented kids who are sophomores and juniors, and we're about to find out as the season progresses. Jay Williams is a sophomore, Corey.
Yeah, he turned that up and just hit up the afterburners. And the Spartans right now are really controlling 27-8 over the LeFlore Rattlers. And the defense for the Rattlers have been on the field for quite a while. We talked about at halftime being able to flip the time of possession. And we know Saraland does have that quick tempo and likes to try to get to the line of scrimmage and run plays very quickly. But that does wear and tear on your defense. LeFlore really needs to try to come up with an answer right here so they totally don't fold up shop right there. If you're the Rattlers, you want to try to put a drive together that maybe takes you to the end of the 3rd quarter to have some type of success. The Rattlers have shown the quick strike ability, but again, Phelan, you look at his confidence, second half, has not been quite where it was in the first half.
Right, right. And you talked about it earlier, Corey. Could that possibly take the air out of the Rattlers? There's the kickoff. They take it at about the 15-yard line, bringing it back, wrapped up by a few Spartans. They can't bring him down, and they are finally brought down at about the 27, 28-yard line.
Dwan James handling the return duty. Now you're going to ask him to step into the backfield and either catch passes as a split out wide receiver or go ahead and take that read option play from the quarterback. So Dwan James, again, has continued to be the workhorse for the LeFlore Rattlers. 2:59 remaining here in the third quarter. Hopefully the Rattlers can put some plays together right here to keep the defense off of the field.
Right, you're down 19 points, less than 3 minutes left. Corey, what's your call as offense coordinator? What do you need to do right now?
You want to try to establish the type of tempo. You want to try to get Phelan back into a groove. You're going to call plays that are going to be quick, short, and simple if you're the LeFlore Rattlers.
Little dinks and dunks there.
No doubt about it.
Trip to the bottom of the screen. Phelan looking for the snap here, trying to get the Rattlers back on the board. Hands off to the back, and he cuts. Gets to the outside. James, workhorse for the Rattlers, putting up a lot of yards tonight. I had over 100 in the first half rushing.
Larson Hall on the stop, and anytime you're able to create, again, we talked about it all night, second down and short for the LeFlore Rattlers. That's the type of success that Coach Epps, the offensive coordinator for the LeFlore Rattlers, wants to have.
Big run by James there, picked up 8 yards, 2nd and 2. Rattlers got the ball on the move on their own 38-yard line. They're going to feed the rock back to him again. He's close to the first down marker. He stopped. It's going to be close, though, from where the official's coming in, the side judge there.
And he only needed a couple of yards, and they're either going to measure right here and take a look at it as they're waving to stop the clock, and the white hat's going to come in, and it looks like they're going to move the chains.
They're calling it first down, so they'll stop the clock and move the chains for LeFlore. So getting that first down is important, kind of get the drive going, getting the momentum going.
And that's what you needed for LeFlore. You just want to sustain some type of drive to keep your defense off the field and give your offense some type of confidence.
2:03 remaining in the third quarter. Phelan looking to take the snap here. Stepping back quick out to the receiver. He cuts back in, gets some yards, and holds on to the ball. There's a flag coming in.
And that's Rodney Finley with the reception for the LeFlore Rattlers. And everything that LeFlore's had success with, it hasn't been going really vertical down the field. It's been maybe 3 or 4 yard passes, maybe the longest, maybe a 7-yard route. But with the flag on the play, anything productive that you do have, it looks like it's going to come back against the Rattlers.
That was a hole right there. They were holding up number 11, Andrew Booth of Saraland. Here's the call.
Holding on the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
That can definitely get the coach peeved right there, getting the first down. Now you're going backwards.
Yeah, it'll be first down and 14 for the LeFlore Rattlers from their own 36-yard line. And again, the LeFlore Rattlers are continuing to spread the Spartans out because that negates a lot of the speed. It gives you an opportunity to take it right up the gut if you're the quarterback and you see them chasing the wide receivers.
Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Phelan looking down at his wrist, checking the play. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, sets up the bubble screen there, and these off to the races. Close to the first down mark, a big play for LeFlore there. Get some of that yardage back from that holding penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be Gully on the reception right there for the LeFlore Rattlers. And again, he's a two-way player, and it's going to be important that the LeFlore Rattlers continue to maintain this drive as they've almost had the ball for 2 minutes, and it's been going second down and short, getting ahead of the sticks.
Right, they won the time of possession in the first half tonight. Approaching 1 minute, little mix-up. Phelan gives it off to the back. Kind of works out for him. He's getting yards and yards as the pile moves on. Play kind of looked busted there for a second, Corey, but it works out for the Rattlers.
Yeah, he decided to pitch it at the last minute. It was a good pitch, but it moved the chains more importantly. And we talked about earlier in Corey's checklist about the Spartans having to wrap up and finish the tackle and get LeFlore to the ground. Right there, Dwan James just kept grinding his feet, continued to gain additional yards, moving the chains for the LeFlore Rattlers.
Do have 2 penalty markers down on the field. Here's the call.
On the defense, it'll be a 15-yard penalty, be a first down.
Whoa, that's a big one.
Yeah, somebody must have said something. That's an unsportsmanlike conduct. And again, LeFlore Rattlers picking up a good free 15. This is a type of drive that they want to sustain right here, bringing it toward the end of the third quarter. I think they got the possession with close to 3:12 remaining here in the third quarter, and they're grinding it out the way that they want to do. Nothing explosive over 15 plays, but they'll take that free 15.
Right, a score right now will be huge for the Rattlers, down 19 points to Saraland. Phelan steps back, finds a receiver, has someone in the end zone, overthrows him, incomplete.
And just overthrows Gully on the play. That's who he was looking for. He had success going to him a little bit earlier. But again, you look at the Rattlers on first down. They've tried to throw that strike on first down. You really don't have anything to lose right there because DeJuan James has been such a workhorse. You catch the cornerback looking into the backfield, gets possibly behind the defensive back. That ball just slightly overthrown.
Slightly overthrown. Rattlers take a shot at the end zone right there. 42 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's still 1st and 10. Ball on the 24-yard line. LeFlore trying to penetrate the red zone. Phelan hands off to James. He's cutting around the edge, bouncing off folks, and he's trying to get to the end zone. Brought down about the 2-yard line. Big run for DeJuan James.
Ran past 4 Saraland Spartans, and they didn't wrap up. And due to that, that's DeJuan James. They called it the kill shot is what Saraland was going through, but DeJuan James' speed right there just went ahead and burst to the outside, outruns a couple of defenders, pinballs himself, lowers his shoulder, and gets 1st and goal for the LeFlore Rattlers.
1st and goal, clock ticking, less than 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. LeFlore trying to put one on the board here before time expires in the third quarter.
Just what the doctor ordered if you're LeFlore. Can't afford a penalty right here in the red zone.
Cannot, Corey, cannot. There's a handoff to the up-back. He's trying to force his way in. It's going to be close, and there's the call. Rattlers on the board with a touchdown.
Just what the doctor ordered, and again, they scored it right before the end of the third quarter. 10 seconds remaining here. Almost a 3-minute drive put on by the LeFlore Rattlers. Almost went 65 yards. That was a huge, huge score. You know, no quit in the LeFlore Rattlers. Again, they keep the defense off the field by maintaining that long, long drive, and it keeps the Spartan defense on the field. So, again, you come away, you're going to start the fourth quarter with an opportunity to get a stop against this Saraland offensive team.
LeFlore going for the 2-point conversion here. Hand off to the up back. The Piles moving behind that big offensive line. He might be a bit short on this one.
He is going to be short right there, so that's going to make our score 27-14 with 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Number 7, Randall Hinton, a little upset over there for the Spartans as he comes out of the pile. Maybe he felt someone put a little extracurricular there, Corey. So they get him over to the sideline.
Well, you look at this situation for the LeFlore Rattlers, that gives them a little bit of shot, a little bit of boost, which is something that you had not seen the entire third quarter because Saraland had really established dominance to begin this third quarter and deep into the third quarter. But if you're the LeFlore Rattlers right here, you want to have a great, strong kickoff by DeJuan James. You want to come down and make a great tackle, make the Spartans uncomfortable. And how do you do that? You get them in 2nd and 3rd and long. And again, you're going to have to stop the running game by the Spartans because so far here in the second half, I tell you what, you look at Dominio Williams and Jonathan Perriman have both been running downhill, and LeFlore has not been able to corral them here in the second half. So LeFlore needs a great defensive stop right here. And again, another answer on offense, which is quite possible. That's the same drive we just saw that we saw in the first possession of the game.
That's right. That's right. They've sacked West a few times tonight, disrupted him, but most of the damage has been done by the runners from Saraland.
And again, that free 15 yards on that unsportsmanlike
conduct,
that was huge because, again, if the Saraland defense bowls up and stops them, you never know what can happen. But you advanced LeFlore, got him into a great red zone situation, and hats off to Coach Epps right there for having a good red zone series and LeFlore keeping life in this contest.
10 seconds remaining in the third quarter as James looks up and down to check his teammates and count them, make sure he's got 11. Here's the kick. Good kick by LeFlore there. Jay Williams kind of fumbles the return, but he picks it up, advances up to about the 32-yard line.
dancing around right there. Great tackle made on the play by Jeremiah Dennis. And again, it's going to put the Spartans in their own territory where the Rattlers have an opportunity to come away with the stop to start the fourth quarter.
That's the end of 3 here at Lab People Stadium. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. Saraland up 27-14 over LeFlore.
I have a lot of great memories from high school, some great experiences. Just being in the Shaw Band was a great experience. With the leadership in my schools, I always felt like they were very passionate about what they were doing. They cared about their calling to teach and to lead the schools. I always felt like they cared about me as a student and my classmates, and they wanted to see us do well and succeed. The relationships that were formed during those years are what impacted me the most, and I would just like to say thank you.
It is an exciting time of change in the world of education, where technology is being used to engage our learners. And here in the Mobile County Public Schools, we're embracing those changes and moving forward into this new era of learning. It's our vision to be the premier educational system where students engage in multiple pathways, leading to success in a global society. Education for the future. It starts with us.
Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. Saraland on top of LeFlore, 27-14 as we head to the fourth quarter. I'm Al Whedon, joined by Corley Bounty in the booth. On the sidelines, our buddy Pablo Foster taking in the action. Corey, very exciting third quarter. Saraland puts up 2 touchdowns and a field goal. LeFlore answers with 1 touchdown, but they're still down some points here.
Yeah, before they scored right there before the end of the third quarter. 27 unanswered points by the Saraland Spartans, and now it's going to be up to that LeFlore defense to bow up right here in the fourth quarter and get another stop.
1st and 10 from the Spartans on their own 33-yard line. West looking over to the sideline to clarify the call. Steps under center to take it. Hands off to Perriman. He's breaking outside, picks up a couple, maybe 3 or 4, set up second down.
Tamontre Graham on the stop for the LeFlore Rattlers, but that tempo, that gives any time they pick up positive yards on first down, they're going to go with that quick tempo, and again, it opens up the playbook for the offensive coordinator.
Second down for Saraland. Got to thank the fans for both teams. Good crowd here at Ladd for Saraland and LeFlore in the stands here. Hand off to Perriman. He's trying to get a few and wrapped up by a swarm of Rattler defenders.
Great job right there by the LeFlore Rattlers. Staying at home, not giving up right there. Going to bring up third down and 3 yards to go for the Spartans.
Probably not the way Coach Kelly envisioned this series here starting off the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's going to be imperative that the Spartans get a first down right here because the LeFlore Rattlers are coming off a lot of momentum. And again, you know, if you're the Spartans, do you go ahead and throw a pass right here, or you try to keep it on the ground and continue to grind out the clock? I think they want to keep down the play clock as long as they can.
Right, they do want to use that time. Play clock under 10. West takes a snap. Hands off to Williams, and he's brought down short of the first down, so the LeFlore defense stands.
They did a great job. It's going to bring up 4th down and 1 for the Spartans, and the ball is going to be located right on the Spartan 42-yard line. So if you're in this situation, being in your own territory, you probably want to punt with it being early in the fourth quarter because you don't want to give LeFlore any opportunity to have any type of momentum.
Here a look at some of tomorrow's games going on in the top corner there. Murphy head down to Bryant, Citronelle, and McIntosh going at it tomorrow.
Here's an opportunity the Spartans are going to decide
to
go
for it.
They're going to try to draw them off sides.
They haven't punted once tonight yet, so West Still out on the field.
With that hard count and that cadence, trying to get the LeFlore Rattlers to jump, something that they did have encroachment on earlier.
That was the call. They were trying to get the Rattlers to jump to pretty much get the free 5 yards and pick up the first down. So the Rattlers stay mentally strong. They don't jump off. And now we will get to see our punt from Saraland here.
And the LeFlore Rattlers, that's a huge, huge stop by the defense.
It is.
Turn around, you score with 10 seconds remaining to go in the third quarter. You bow up on defense, you get that stop. Your offense has had an opportunity to look at itself and say, hey, we had success just in one previous possession, and it's been awkward for LeFlore because about every other possession for the Rattlers, something positive has happened.
Right. Almost, it's nothing consistently. Overall, it's been a good game for them, but they can't put good drives back to back to back.
Well, you have 14 points on the board, and you look at the 27 that you've given up. It's not been an easy 27 points that the Spartans have earned every single yard and every single point that they've gotten thus far tonight.
Right, if you're just joining us, the score was 11-8 at halftime with Saraland up over LeFlore. So with Saraland putting up those other points in the third quarter, that has extended the lead. We do appreciate you joining us tonight. Also, want to know what's happening in Mobile County Public Schools? Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for school news, spotlights on our students, as well as weather alerts. Check out our website, mcpssthewire.com. Also, Superintendent Martha Peak is on Twitter, Corey. You can follow her as Super Peak.
And I'm one of her followers, and she's going to be seeing another great game against Mobile County Public School System teams tomorrow night.
That's right. MGM travels down to Theodore. That'll be live tomorrow night, so make sure you join us for that. MCPSS TV Network. I'll be handling the sidelines in the booth. Tim Finnegan and the one and only Howard McCain.
4th down and 1 for the Saraland Spartans. And again, they try to get the Rattlers to jump offside right here. I don't think that you would necessarily see a lot of trickeration in this situation, but coming out of the timeout, the personnel was not correct for the Saraland Spartans, and they're going to burn another timeout.
Burn another one. That put them out of timeouts, Corey. They have one on the scoreboard. I thought Coach Kelly took one early in the third quarter, but they still have them down listed with one. But they're up 27-14. We'll see if that'll come back later on if the game gets a little tighter.
And, again, I want to go back to tomorrow night's matchup, Al. You look at MGM and Theodore. Theodore goes on the road and has a huge win against Northridge 1 week ago. And you look at MGM establishing a win against the #1 team in 4A, the UMS Wright Bulldogs. Coach Seymour has said their motto is never bow down. So here's an opportunity to be a contender or a pretender early in 7A Region 1.
Early. So that's going to be a good matchup tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that one as we travel down to Theodore. And Coach Kelly brings the offense back on. Here's Jack West again. So
it's a chess match, and right now with his big frame, he can go ahead and give it to the up back or go with a sneaker. I would personally give it to the up back because you don't want Jack West taking that type of hit.
Yeah, I had to give it to Perriman, and he gets the feet moving and the wheels turning, and that's a first down for the Spartans.
How do you like that chess match right there, Al?
I like
you look at a situation where you come in, you show that you want to go with the hard count to get them to jump off sides. They don't. You show punt formation, and then you turn around, come out of a timeout, and then you line up under center again. So in that situation, they were able to pick up the first down and keep the clock moving.
I think this was one of the things Coach Kelly talked about before the game. Finish drive, sustain drives, don't leave points on the field. Right now, what's crucial for them, keep possession of the ball and keep that clock moving so LeFlore can't get it back.
Yeah, it's running back by committee for the Saraland Spartans. Perryman on the carry, and you see a lot of Perryman, and also you see the other running back for the Spartans, Dominio Williams. He's the scat back, and you look at the power back, the down here runner being Perryman in this situation. No yards gained right there. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Spartans.
No yards gained, but the clock moving. 2nd and 10 for Saraland as West looks over to the sideline. Now he's checking his wrist, make sure he gets the play correct, stands under center. And he's milking that play clock under 5 before he even hikes it, Corey. Incomplete, tried to catch his receiver. that ball did hit the ground and pop up, so that'll be an incomplete pass, sets up 3rd down.
And that's a bonus for LeFlore because it does stop the clock. So in that situation, we know the Spartans are out of timeouts according to the scoreboard, and the LeFlore Rattlers have 2 in their pocket to burn, plus the Heat timeout. So the Rattlers right there put the Spartans in 3rd down and 10, which is an obvious situation if you're the Rattlers. Don't let anything get behind you and give up this 1st down right here.
And in high school ball, that's huge. We play 12-minute quarters, so having that Heat timeout is almost, if you want to call it, like a 2-minute warning in the pros. So they're going to stop that clock at the first dead ball under 6 minutes. As West is brought down, that may be, the 4th or 5th sack on him tonight.
Marquez Tatum brought the pressure right there from his defensive line position. Did a great job of staying in his lane as Jack West continued to roll out right. And 6'3", 230-pound sophomore was able to bring down Jack West. The clock continues to run, but a great stop once again after giving up the 1st down on 4th down by the LeFlore Rattlers holding on.
You do have to credit West for not throwing it away. So right then, eating that one and taking the sack. Yeah, they're punting the ball, but the clock continues to move as we approach 8 minutes. Here's our punt. Joshua Cormanick, first time calling his name tonight for the Spartans. And the punt goes backwards, helping out LeFlore.
What is he touched the ball.
Did he touch it? And should have downed that right there, and it looks like the Rattlers may have lucked out.
And Coach Schamberger looking around saying, son, what are you doing? The ball's about to die.
I know,
if you pick it up and try to start running and you fumble it, you've given it up. And I'll be honest with you, I was scratching my head trying to figure out, you yell fire, fire in that situation. It's signifying to your teammates, get away from the football.
Get out the way.
And don't come close to touching it.
And this is good field position for LeFlore. I was just about to say, if I was out there at Spring Hill on number 10 putting in a wedge shot, I want that kind of backspin. But Saraland didn't need that, and LeFlore's got great field position here on the 40.
And they come out and spread the Spartans out once again, giving the opportunity for Sean Phelan to have that read option. If he sees something he likes, he's going to keep it and run it. If not, he'll pitch it.
Phelan on the screen tosses out to Edwards. He's got a lot of pasture to run through, and he's off to the races. Runs into his own player. You know he might be a little upset with that, and gets into Spartan territory. Let's go down to the sidelines, check in with Pablo Foster.
Yeah, guys, any coach of high school players has to be an educator, and Coach Schamberger just gave that guy a well-deserved education in when not to touch that football, and he is fired up, to say the least.
Pablo, we appreciate it. Thanks for keeping it clean, buddy.
And that was Devontae Williams, who did not get away from that football, but at the same time, LeFlore finds DeJuan James and are able to move the sticks.
They do. Ball on the Spartan 31-yard line. LeFlore trying to get into the red zone and get back on the board. Quick out to the receiver, number 7, Gully. And he's approaching a 1st down, close to it. Might have it, Corey.
And again, this is the type of momentum we talk about, putting back-to-back successful drives. LeFlore is able now to get almost in the red zone of the Spartans, as they're going to actually be right on the 20-yard line of the Saraland Spartans.
We said it earlier. These teams have met only twice. Both games, Saraland put up 41 points, and the most LeFlore could score was 14. So right now they're trying to bust that average open and get on the board and narrow this game closer. Phelan hands off to James, going up the middle. He picks up a couple, sets up 2nd down.
And it's a great job of him going right up the gut of this Spartan defense. And if you're the LeFlore Rattlers, again, having success on 1st down, creating positive yards on 1st down is the key to the success that they've had in their scoring drives previous in the game.
2nd and 7 inside the red zone. It's do or die time for the Rattlers. They've got to get one on the board. We're approaching 6 minutes here at Lab Peoples Stadium. Thanks for joining us for the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. Ball incomplete, overthrown to Gully.
And Desmond Gully, again, was the intended receiver like you stated, but how many long and deep routes have you seen the LeFlore Rattlers go on tonight? Not that many. You've seen it be short and sweet, and success for the LeFlore Rattlers. You look at Phelan trying to outstretch that ball over the defender and just leads it out of bounds, which the clock is going to stop, and the LeFlore Rattlers are going to call a timeout before the Heat timeout and regroup.
Coach Schamberger's smart here. He knows he has a Heat timeout coming up under 6, so he takes one now, talks to his kids. You're in the red zone, 3rd and 7. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. It's the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV.
At Tenderbones Catering, our mission is to create an unforgettable event by exceeding your catering expectations. From large banquets to intimate affairs, we offer catering services for up to 1,000 guests. If you're planning a corporate event, party, meeting, or wedding, Tenderbones Catering will make it memorable from start to finish. Innovative cuisine, excellent service, and affordable pricing makes us Mobile's best catering value.
Welcome back to the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. Let's set it up. It's 3rd and 7, ball on the 17-yard line as LeFlore trying to get a first down, keep this drive going. I'm Al Weed and Corey LeBounty in the booth. Corey, this is a big drive. That was a big timeout right there for Coach Schamberger.
It is a big timeout, and right now you think you're in 2-down territory for the LeFlore Rattlers. You're right here in the red zone, and in this situation, being in the red zone area, you want to put yourself to where you at least get the first down. And right here, I think with the play call, them being able to spread out the Spartans, if a great route is run, I know the completion's going to come.
Right, we talked about it earlier in the third quarter. They had an opportunity to get down there. It was 4-down territory rather. Came up a little short. So right now, rubber's meeting the road, 3rd and 7. Here's Phelan. He hand off a little reverse. Around the edge comes the receiver. Steps in, steps out, close to the first down marker, number 12, Rodney Finley. That's his favorite receiver, a little
trickeration.
end-around action,
Yeah.
trickeration there, Corey.
And that's a great job right there of the LeFlore Rattlers executing. It's going to be right on the down mark. It's going to be interesting to see if we have a measurement right here or whether it's going to be short of it. Looks like the markers are moving. It's going to be 1st and goal for the LeFlore Rattlers.
They're giving it to him. 1st and goal, ball on the 10-yard line.
And that's huge right there. The clock continues to run, but again, like you said, after this play right here is run, if it's not a pass, we probably will have the under 6-minute heat timeout.
So that was a big timeout call by Coach Schamberger. Got the play he wanted and got the result. James takes it. No, he fakes. Phelan keeps it. James fell down. A couple of the Spartans went after him, and up the middle comes Phelan.
2nd down and goal from almost the 1.5-yard line for the LeFlore Rattlers. It's going to bring up the heat timeout if they're going to stop the clock right here. The referee says we'll run one more play before the under 6 timeout. 2nd down and goal for the LeFlore Rattlers.
Yeah, marking the ball to play as the clock ticks. We're at 5:40 remaining in the game. LeFlore, big offensive line. They've got it stacked. Phelan hands off. Close to it. It is a touchdown LeFlore.
And
was that McMillan or was it James?
That's a huge score by the LeFlore Rattlers. And DeJuan James is very, very excited. The crowd has gotten back into it. There's life in the sidelines. If you look at the sidelines right now, instead of the LeFlore Rattlers being scattered out as a team on the sidelines, they're all huddled together. They're going to go for 2 right here with 5:24 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And it's going to be critical that they get this because it'll cut it to a 5-point game if they're able to get the 2-point conversion.
It would. They weren't able to convert last time. Phelan finds the receiver, and he drops it. McMillan dropped it.
No, he caught it.
Oh, he did catch it. Whoa. So the ball must have crossed the plane. That's all that matters, Corey.
That's all that matters, and now you're at a score right now, 27-22. Game on, 5:24 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Absolutely. We're having a blast here at Lab People Stadium. It's the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. You're watching the MCPSS Thursday Night Kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. LeFlore and Saraland going at it. Saraland up 27-22. Big touchdown and 2-point conversion by the Rattlers core. We have a 5-point game with 5 minutes left. Let's go down the sidelines, check in with Pablo Foster.
Yeah, guys, we've talked in the past about leadership coming from these players and the lessons they learn about leadership. You saw Dwan James punch that touchdown in, comes up, getting the crowd fired up, and you can see him behind me, the LeFlore band, the cheerleaders, everybody's getting into it, and that's what you get. You get everybody motivated. You be the person to show the leadership, get the motivation going, get the crowd pumped up, get your team pumped up, and that's why LeFlore is not out of this game yet.
Thank you, Pablo. By no means they're not out of it, Corey. Only down 5 points with 5:24 remaining.
14 unanswered points by the LeFlore Rattlers. The Saraland Spartans controlled the third quarter, and right here on the two-point conversion, you look at the nice little flick pass, the fingertip catch by McMillan gets himself into the end zone for the two-point conversion. Great job, 14 unanswered points. Now, how huge was the score right there with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter?
That was huge.
And the conversion as well now by the Rattlers right there, 27-22, brand new game. The Spartans totally controlled almost the entire third quarter up until the last 3:12, where the Rattlers were able to sustain a 3-minute drive, punching in with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Now come out, get a huge stop to start the fourth quarter, come out and now put back-to-back drives, because we talked about LeFlore scoring, stopping Saraland in back-to-back drives, now scoring in back-to-back drives for the first time tonight. That's huge for the Rattlers. Brand new ball game, 27-22. We wouldn't have it any other way here at Ladd Peoples Stadium on a Thursday night.
Absolutely. We appreciate you joining us. Talked about it early at the top of the broadcast, Corey. Both teams undefeated. Could it be a trap game with Saraland headed to play Daphne next week in another region game?
And here it is on the onside kick attempt. The LeFlore Rattlers are going to get a penalty called against them, so they showed their hand in that situation. Now the Spartans will be expecting the onside kick. Coach Schamberger not happy about that at all.
Tried to catch him off guard there, so we'll have to get a re-kick after the penalty.
And in that situation, the Rattlers were trying to essentially steal a possession. So it'll be interesting to see if they say, all right, you guys are going to know the onside kick is coming, try to stop it, or whether they go ahead and decide to kick it deep. The chess match game that was going on earlier, whether the Spartans were deciding to punt it or go for it, or punt it or go for it, same thing with the LeFlore Rattlers. Will they decide to go for the onside kick, or will they decide to go ahead and kick it deep?
It continues. The chess match continues. So LeFlore push back a bit, and we'll have to kick this one again.
And again, it's unfortunate for the LeFlore Rattlers because they had the look that they wanted. They were trying to sneak up on that onside kick, but the execution has to be there by the LeFlore Rattlers. Now Dwan James getting ready to tee the ball up for the LeFlore Rattlers.
Ball placed at the 35-yard line. 5:24 remaining in the game. LeFlore down 5. Here's the kick. Punches it right up the middle, basically. Flott thought he had it, and they didn't communicate very well back there for Saraland, so they avoid a big mistake there. Ball at the 20-yard line. Now, Corey, we're under 6 minutes. The officials did not stop on the dead ball. LeFlore went ahead and scored, made the two-point conversion. We should have our heat timeout coming up soon.
The heat timeout should still be rewarded, so it'll be interesting to see if the white hat in this situation, the head official, is paying attention to that after this play right here is run, whether he will actually award. It will benefit the Spartans because, well, really the Rattlers, because the Spartans are out of timeouts. The LeFlore Rattlers still have one on the board.
They've got one up there. 1st and 10, ball on the 21. West under center, ready to take the snap, man in motion. Single back in the backfield. He hands it off to Williams, and he has plenty of room and brought down at about the 34-yard line. He gets the first down plus some more, and they signal first down.
And that's a huge first down run by the Spartans on first down. And, 5:15 remaining here as the clock stops for the chains to move. The referee decided on the field. So far, he has not granted the heat timeout.
Yeah, it's not. Spartans up to the 35-yard line, trying to keep possession, trying to keep the clock on their side. Right now, that is their best ally. They can take this one on to the house with the victory. West looks to the sideline, getting the call, and he's milking that play clock as he did in the third quarter, early in the third quarter and fourth quarter.
And here's the thing, the LeFlore Rattlers are trying to turn that milk and the clock into spoiled situation as they're going ahead and trying to get the Spartans behind the sticks to where you know that the run is coming because they want to go ahead and try to bleed as much clock as possible. But if you're able to go ahead and put them in a long distance situation, what looks like now it's going to bring up possibly 2nd down and 8, it makes that running a little bit harder. And again, the defense just has to make sure they read their keys, don't get caught looking into the backfield, allowing a wide receiver to get behind you and Jack West to hit pay dirt with a vertical throw.
2 run plays back to back. Don't really expect the Spartans to throw unless they have to right now. 2nd and 8. Pretty much probably looking for another run here, but you never know. They may switch it up, but at 4:12 remaining and counting, all Saraland has to do is keep possession. Here's the pass attempt, and it is knocked down, and West brought down as well.
Yeah, it's going to be another sack on the play right there. Marquez Tatum from his defensive lineman position goes ahead and gets Jack West down. In that situation, that may be beneficial for the Spartans because throwing the ball away kills the clock. But with him taking the sack, it continues to run the clock, putting the pressure back on the floor. Going to bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Spartans. So right here, do they run the ball or do they pass the ball right here to stop the clock?
Tick, tick, tick. Clock continues to move. West approaching 10 seconds left on the play clock. Past few plays, he's been hiking this ball under 5 seconds as he does at 5-4, and he takes a snap. Here's a little screen set up. Williams incomplete. That is not a lateral. Ball was going forward. That is incomplete. Coach Schamberger, of course, running down the sideline saying it's our ball, it's our ball.
Well, here's the situation. In the 3rd quarter, there was 3:12 remaining when LeFlore went on a long, sustained drive and was able to punch it in for a touchdown. Almost the same identical situation set up here in the 4th quarter. 3:20 remaining. The LeFlore Rattlers are going to receive the football in great field position. They just need to make sure that they hold on to the football because they've not had any turnovers tonight that has really affected the game.
That's right. Coach Schamberger told me before the game, got to be sound on special teams. And right now, this is a huge opportunity for them to take advantage of that. Cormanique back for the punt. He gets it off. Beautiful punt. He skies it up there. Everyone getting out of the way. And that one takes a Saraland bounce down to the 20, 18, maybe down at about the 17-yard line of LeFlore. So Saraland flips the field. 3:08 remaining in the game. LeFlore down 27-22 to Saraland.
Well, you look at what the Rattlers have to do now. 78 yards is what you want the Rattlers to go to in order to get the pay dirt. But they have 1 timeout remaining. They played with a lot of confidence. 3:08 remaining. Again, you just on 1st down, to me, Al, the remaining 3:08 1st down is going to be critical. You don't want to get behind the sticks on 3rd down. You don't want to commit any penalties that will change the play calls for you. You have plenty of time to run the ball, throw the ball, do what you do effectively throughout this contest in order to put your 3rd scoring possession in control.
We're live at Lab People Stadium. It's the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. I'm Al Wheaton. That's Corey LeBounty on the sidelines. Pablo Foster, and on the field, LeFlore has the ball 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line with 3:08 remaining in the game. And here we go. Phelan takes the snap, and we have whistles and flags on the play, Corey.
And that's not what you want to see if you're the LeFlore Rattlers right there. You have to be disciplined enough late in this contest to know you don't want any penalties to go against you. We just talked about it, setting up 1st down and 15. That's something that you, in a pre-snap penalty, you don't want that to happen.
Can't
and to put it in reverse late in the contest.
Cannot have that. So it looks like this one's going against the Rattlers. Let's get the call from the referee.
Illegal procedure.
So we'll be marching that one back about 5 yards. That'll set up 1st and 15.
And the ball will be on the Rattler 29-yard line now. Again, you're still in the situation, not at 1st and 10, but 1st and 15. Your play call is probably still going to remain the same. They're going to go with the short, quick passes. If you're the LeFlore Rattlers, also the tunnel screen has been effective as well.
Yes, Phelan back. And he gets complete to the receiver. But in high school, he was already down on the ground with his knees on the ground, Corey. So he's down right there.
But that was a huge catch by the Rattlers right there. Finley with the reception, at least he did not drop the ball. It gives you positive yards on second down, and, it puts you in a situation to where it's second and manageable because it was 1st and 15. Now it's 2nd down and 6.
2nd and 6, ball on the 39-yard line, trips to the bottom of the screen. Phelan takes the pass, empty backfield. He unloads it and connects to Gully, who's hit by 2 Saraland receivers. Will they give him some forward progress? Close, very close to the first down marker, depending on where the spot's coming in. I like to call that the left foot spot, Corey.
Great catch by Gully right there, and again, Flott comes up and cleans up. 3rd down and 1 for the LeFlore Rattlers.
Definitely 2-down territory, approaching 2 minutes left in the ball game. Phelan keeps it, and he appears to have the first down, so that'll stop the clock and move the sticks. LeFlore seems to be getting things going.
Yeah, you 1st and 15, you thought you were in trouble. You were able to go ahead and connect on a nice pass, which gave you half of those yards back, and that was the key to that. And again, they're going to continue to spread out the Spartans, have trips to the left, one receiver right here closest to us, and again, the LeFlore Rattlers just methodically trying to move themselves down the field.
Phelan steps back, looking to get rid of it, almost brought down and hauls one off and floats it, and that is intercepted. Intercepted by the Spartans. That could be a game killer.
And that one really, really hurt for the LeFlore Rattlers. I mean, he did not have an opportunity to step up in the pocket and throw it as deep as he could. Jacob Brooks with a huge INT for the Saraland Spartans, and unfortunately for the Rattlers, when you turn around and look at this replay, great job of shredding off the defender, but didn't have an opportunity to really step into the play as the offensive receiver falls down on the play.
Right.
Didn't really give your offense an opportunity, and that's the first turnover of the night for the LeFlore Rattlers, and unfortunately for the Rattlers, it's going to be a backbreaker.
Oh, yeah, that's a crucial turnover right there. Phelan couldn't step all the way into it, didn't throw it off his back foot, but he had a Spartan right on him, so he had to unleash it. And unfortunately, it turned into a flailing duck, and that is an interception. Saraland taking over possession, 1:42 remaining in the game. 1 or 2 run plays, LeFlore 1 timeout. This might seal the deal for him, Corey.
And I will say this about Sean Phelan. He's had an outstanding football game, nothing to hold his head down about.
Oh, no.
He didn't lose this game for his team. He fought valiantly, was 9 out of 10 going in to the 3rd quarter. If it wasn't for the plays and his ability to complete the passes, they wouldn't even have a shot. Did a great job, just went for the kill shot in that situation. Unfortunately, it was at a critical time in the game, but this young man has played an outstanding football game for the LeFlore Rattlers.
Absolutely. The Rattlers kept the fight. They didn't give up. Down 5 right now, 27-22. Clock approaching 1 minute left in the game as Jack West looks to the sideline, and he is milking the clock and the play clock for all he can.
And LeFlore needs to make sure they get a stop right here. If they get a stop, they can call their last remaining timeout, but you don't want to give up any yards right here if you're the Rattlers.
There's Big Pyramid. He gets 2 or 3. I think Coach Schamberger's going for the timeout right here. That'll set up 3rd and 6 with 49 seconds remaining.
And in high school, the play clock resets itself to 25 seconds. So mathematically, the LeFlore Rattlers can get a stop right here. You need to get a stop. The referee will spot the ball quickly. It'll give the opportunity for the LeFlore Rattlers at least to set themselves up in punt situation, a punt return situation. But most importantly, on 3rd down and 6, the LeFlore Rattlers have to make a solid tackle. They cannot give up a first down or the clock will continue to bleed itself out.
First down pretty much ends the game for LeFlore right here.
But I'll tell you what, Al, both of these teams have come out. LeFlore smacked Saraland in the mouth in that opening drive, and then you turned around, you saw the late answer or early answer in the 3rd quarter by the Saraland Spartans. Then LeFlore turns around and says, all right, we're able to move the football, and we're able to do so in the 1st quarter. They turn around late in the 3rd quarter, early here in the 4th quarter, and this game has been back and forth, and you got to love high school football. It's going to be a fantastic finish right here. 3rd down and 3 for the Saraland Spartans from their own 37-yard line.
Here it is. Play clock running. West comes on the field and heads on the center. Do-or-die time for the Rattlers defense right here as they hand off to Williams, and he gets the first down, and that pretty much seals the deal. But is there a flag on the play? There is. Let's get the call from the officials first before we move forward.
And it's probably going to be a personal foul called against the LeFlore Rattlers, and they did call the personal foul. Randy Wiggins gets caught hitting Jack West after the play.
Roughing the passer there.
And in that situation, you probably, once they got the first down, you didn't have to. It was a little frustration penalty by the LeFlore Rattlers, but that's definitely going to go ahead. As soon as they put this ball into play, they'll have two more plays and this game will be over.
So Williams picks up the first down, and they're tack on another 15 to it. So that puts it across the midfield stripe, as Saraland has pretty much control of the ball game right here. I think they'll be lining up in that victory formation, Corey, to get ready to seal this deal and move to 2-0.
Yeah, and that's just a great win by the Saraland Spartans, trailing early, finding a way to come out and establish dominance here in the third quarter, giving up a couple scores in the fourth quarter, but finding a way to win nonetheless.
Right. Spartans in the victory formation. West just letting the play clock run down, probably close to 2 or 3 seconds before he takes the snap as the game clock runs as well. Good ball game tonight, Corey. I have to agree with you. Good ball game. LeFlore brought it. May have surprised a lot of people, but we have to say from watching them week 1 to week 2, great advances they made.
You know, this is cliche coaches talk, but the greatest improvement in football from a football coaching standpoint is from week 1 to week 2.
It is.
And you saw dramatic improvement from a penalty standpoint, from an offensive standpoint, from a defensive standpoint. We talked about the LeFlore Rattlers 1 year ago giving up 30-plus points a game, even though tonight they're going to give up 27. What an outstanding played football by both of these teams.
Absolutely. Saraland picks up the victory 27-22. They move to 2-0. LeFlore drops to 1-1. But most importantly, Saraland is 1-0 in the region, 6A Region 1. Stick with us. We're going to let Pablo try to catch up with winning coach Jeff Kelly. I must say, Corey, I enjoyed it tonight. The Rattlers put on a good show. The Spartans did as well. We had a good four quarters of football. Had some excitement, had a little lull, had some more excitement, had a little lull, and then had some great excitement in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the thing that you love it is the back and forth action that we had. I mean, LeFlore was down at one point in time, 27-8. They turned around, cut it to 27-14, 27-22, and now you have a ball game going into the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. And if, unfortunately for the late turnover for the LeFlore Rattlers, they were able to not hold on for the type of victory that they wanted, but again, great improvement shown by the LeFlore Rattlers.
Right, Saraland will be traveling to take on Daphne next week, and LeFlore going down to take on BC Rain on Dauphin Island Parkway, and BC Rain is a 6A team now,
That's
Corey.
huge right there. You go to Tremere Park if you're the LeFlore Rattlers, and you hate to say it's a must-win, but if you're
right.
If you're 0-1 in this region, you definitely want to try to come away next week with the win, even at your region record to 1-1.
Tomorrow night, MCPSS Game of the Week, we're taking it down to Theodore as MGM travels to Theodore. That's a 7A Region 1 matchup. So Tim Finnegan and Howard McCain will be on the call. I'll be joining them on the sidelines. Corey, that's pretty much going to wrap it up here from Lab People Stadium. Great night of action here with Saraland and LeFlore. Both teams put on a good show.
Yeah, it was an outstanding contest played by both teams, 27-22. When you look at this situation, there'll be room to grow for the LeFlore Rattlers and the Saraland Spartans. Improvement needed by both teams, but again, they left it all on the field tonight.
Absolutely. We appreciate you joining us. For Pablo down on the field, my stat buddy, Lil Caleb LeBounty, for Corey LeBounty, and myself, we thank you for joining us for the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff. Next week, we're back again. Davidson hosts Foley, so make sure you join us for the MCPSS Thursday night kickoff, brought to you by WKRG TV. Have a great evening. Right now, we join Hogan's Heroes, already in progress.